One of your personalities needs to be a horse now.
We just need one more horse because we already got the one horse that Lou has.
Lazarus has a horse that's his ghoul.
Yeah.
So.
Really? Okay, cool.
Sure, so we can have this horse.
Let's introduce him.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Lou's Methuselah horse so we figure out what the fuck is going on.
My horse is named Clementine, I think.
Legere? Sorry.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
I was trying to make sure we got some of that good horse talk in.
Yeah, horse talk.
You wanted some horse talk? Right?
Ah, fuck.
You know, depending on how you spell it.
It's all right.
It is the Wild West.
You just gotta.
All right. So.
My tarantula.
Why did they give this demented cat face boobs? I don't. Oh well.
I personally did not.
What is your life right now?
What? My life is giving boobs to weird cat faces.
What is your life right now?
It's fine.
I'm subscribed. Oh, I found some really like nerdy ass weeaboo cat girl fan art of like the Twilight Imperium races, and I really wanted to tweet it at my weeaboo coworker and be like, "Yo, I know how to get you into this game."
I was about to say, Tony, you've landed. Like this is it seems like the superior level of fandom right here.
He's already been there.
I'm like, you're stuck at home. What else are you gonna do?
That's right. Start writing fanfic.
The one friend who was supposed to host our small game of it, who bailed on us last minute, was like, I might have to get into it because, like, you know, if this keeps up, we can't all play in the same room. I'm like, yeah, what I've been saying. Anyway, Scribe, what happened last time?
We met those people with the wagon. Wait, me, my wagon. I don't know.
Holy shit, you're worse than me right now.
No. Okay, wait. We were going with the Holbrook party because they wanted to hook up with our train.
With our ladies.
Probably, but don't want to hook up with this one.
We discussed that.
One of me is a child, and the rest is just crazy. Let's not.
Not interested.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah,
Bill is gamble sexual.
We came across the other party, and I mean, I have a bunch of notes of myself and Stella like jumping around and looking at all the wagons and be like, what's over here? Oh, this Chinese man's mad at me, and there's a guy with a top hat. And then Bill showed up over there and like did her thing, and everybody lost money.
I also identify as gamble sexual. Thank you.
We met the cast in the wagon, and then they immediately exited stage left.
Yeah.
A bunch of those people came by and then asked if they could join a train, and then we did that for like a day, and then they found gold.
Oh, that's right.
Basil took my chair.
Oh, so I think what happened was horses got spooked and went into a ravine, and then people looked at the ravine and were like, "Oh, there's a gold in them ravines."
Right.
Watch the first 5 minutes of Paint Your Wagon, and that's what happened at the end of last game.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure we spent more time arguing about whether we should let these people join us or not than they were actually with us.
Yeah.
We saw them like going around there like panhandling, whatever they do. Wait, that's not what it's called.
We had like a whole meeting. Everybody got together.
Gold, and we
like debated over stuff, and then they immediately left.
Yeah, we were just like, nah, let's go. I have this thing after that. It says that we're going to Abbott's Post, I guess, and then we're going to be headed downward, and we're resting at some sort of, or maybe it's Abbott's Post.
Oh yeah, it was the trading post. Yep.
Right. Yeah, we're resting at the post, and then we're going to be taking a treacherous trip down slope. That's what it says. That's all I got.
Excellent. Yes, you are at Ebbett's Post, and through Lewis. He has agreed to take you through a winding mule pass west through part of the Sierra Nevadas to try and get you off the mountain and down into California proper.
Yay.
Woo.
Wait, are we going to Ebbett's Post or we're in Ebbett's Post?
You are at Ebbett's Post.
Oh, we're at Ebbett's. Okay.
Right? Because you guys left Markley.
Yeah, because I tried to post stuff like mail, and they were like, "Nah, we have to take it down to this other place." And I'm like, "Well, I might as well take it to that other place." So
there's very few people in this place, so I've written it. So I guess we just rested there, and then it's the next night. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we had anything else to do here.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right.
What you got?
Well, now I'm worried. What was
yeah,
that?
like, that doesn't sound fun.
I mean, what you
How
got?
many of us are there?
Tell Mom.
It's not daytime, and we woke up and the sun's out, right? I'm just...
No, you're good. However,
I hate when that happens.
of course it would be this week. Okay.
Oh no! Did you make like a plague thing? Oh no!
Are we all getting dysentery?
No, not yet.
Great.
You're
Congratulations, you're all pooping blood.
so that's later.
Damn it, my blood
I'm
pool.
getting ahead of me.
You have to invest in that.
I needed that blood.
That's in that.
So you wake up the next night, drop a blood point, up a willpower, like you do. Except for Fred.
Except for Fred.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm feeding.
Okay.
What happens to Fred?
Fred does the thing we've been talking about. And him and his wagon is empty. Him and Bertram are gone.
Oh. That weird wagon that he's partially transformed at one point.
Oh, so I left the wagon behind?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, he can meld with Earth, so yeah, I think he's fine.
It sort of
I didn't take
happened.
that G4.
And yeah, there's a note with a wineskin full of blood that says, "For Daryl, use it sparingly."
Wow.
Oh, I thought we were weaning them.
Well, that's
Now you'll never know.
that's to wean off.
Well, I haven't been weaning. I've just let her go.
So did Daryl? So Daryl's still there with them.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, I guess then it's all up to you now, Lisa. You get to choose whatever happes. Because
Can I go in there? So I'm Frankie right now, by the way.
All the wild. So
Is this the only thing that's there? There's no other notes?
I don't
I
know.
look in the wagon to see if there's feet.
uh-oh.
Did they leave the feet?
Yeah, there's the crate full of feet is there. I don't know. Would Fred leave another note?
He probably. Sorry. Yeah. So he probably would have left gifts for everybody if he knew he was going to leave. But I don't know what those were because I wasn't exactly certain he was going to leave this session. So.
Yeah, he didn't know he was going to leave till that night either.
Okay, well in that case then.
So that's why it was kind of rushed with the note for Daryl, and just in case he needed it, that was sort of a last gesture if he needed to wean off of it. Unless he also went cold turkey, in which case, yeah, then the wineskin probably wasn't there.
I don't think I had been feeding Daryl, so.
All right, so forget the part about the wineskin in the note.
I mean, that was the whole argument between Pip and Fred in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's been like a month in real time, so I don't remember.
So he's just
No, the last time I spent blood to feed my ghouls, I only spent 2, one to feed Bertram and one to feed Rolf. So the
Yeah, do we need to look for him?
Are the dogs here?
Yes, the dog.
Probably. I don't know if somebody took him.
For Rolf, yeah.
What's that?
So the dogs are here.
Well,
Freddy-
Rolf would have.
Gabe is organizing a little
Search party?
Rolf
party.
and Bertram would have gone with Fred.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then never mind. Yeah, Rolf
Okay.
and Bertram are gone with Fred.
And Rolf.
Oh, wait, we know that they're gone with Fred? Like, what?
We wake up and we notice they're gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so Abe would organize a little search party because
Hannah would look.
they've not been taken somewhere.
The orb is gone too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with your word.
Is there anything that he left? What did he leave behind? What did you leave behind? Did you leave anything?
Everything but himself.
Full of feet.
So all of his tools,
Mhm.
all his toys,
Mhm.
his weird experiments.
Mm-hmm.
A
Anything,
large,
anything that
a
didn't,
substantial sum of money.
anything that didn't move on its own, he left.
Okay.
If it moved on its own, it went with him.
But I mean, did it look like he packed? Or was
No.
it just like seriously just ran off?
Just the happening, just gone.
Mm.
So sure, John, you got a couple other people together to sort of look that like maybe he went out. Like some of the humans, well, rather they pass it off to Ebbett, like, oh yeah, maybe he went to do his business and got lost or something. We're gonna search for him.
No one saw him leave.
Nope.
I'm
Well,
not sure how many people actually care.
Yeah, Fred at this point had been sleeping underground with Proteans, so there's a possibility that he could have just fucked off through the earth somehow.
Wow.
So John, go ahead and make a perception plus survival to track.
I'm gonna come with. Can I come with?
Let's start at a difficulty 8 and let me know how many successes you get from there.
Oh, I'm not that good at that roll. I'm in. Frankie looks around at the feet.
Does
Is the pizza?
Yeah, it's 14 minutes.
Just as a note, John, the people who volunteer to help you are fucking useless. They make it worse.
Wow.
What you guys been doing this entire time?
Yeah. Like one.
I'm worried now.
Wow.
All right. I got 3, 4 if hunting is
So if I'm there, I got 2.
I didn't catch that. How many did he get? I heard Sally had 2.
I got 3. I have 4 if hunting counts as a specialty.
All right. He's gone. Like a fart in the wind. You have no idea where he went.
You're welcome.
So like, did it change his mind and want to do gold digging or whatever it is they're doing?
It doesn't count.
I realize you can't see me if I put my hand up because the tile's so tiny.
Yeah.
I assume word got to Pip that this is a thing because Pip isn't going to go like, oh, I'm going to go check on Fred today.
Oh, yeah, no, it's the talk at the camp as soon as everyone's up for the night, yeah.
Pip gets up and marches straight toward the wagon that has Mary and Daryl and the baby and just...
Yeah, you don't even need to knock. They're already out and they're out and about and they look concerned as well. And, they're like, yes, Mrs. Sterling, everyone's out looking for him.
And you have no thought, no recollection. He said nothing to you.
No, we're just as bewildered. You're like, damn, Daryl, that's a lot of syllables.
3? 3 is a
I don't
lot.
believe that word has that many syllables. Is Daryl's face fixed?
Yes. It was fixed for a while now, yeah.
Well, I haven't seen him in a very long time.
Yeah, I know. Shortly after the passing around of stogies, there was a fixed-facing party.
It's fixed spot.
Party?
It's a classic Prussian ceremony.
From the old country.
From the old country, yeah.
As it were. Pip very specifically does not look at the lady and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Is she just the lady now?
Yeah.
Well, there's a 50-50 chance she's going to turn into a raging bitch who tried to kill me. So, yeah, she the lady now.
Yeah.
Fair.
And just sort of, okay, and then turns boots and goes back the way she came.
Let's see here. If anyone wants to throw down...
Bill just wakes up and is like, hey, where'd Fred go? Is he gone?
Wait, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying that everyone else is like, seems concerned. Bill wakes up and is just like, hey, where'd Fred go? Is he gone? Nah.
I wouldn't say Pip is concerned.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a strong word.
More like, where'd this bitch go?
Yeah. Bill's reaction
We're not
is
done.
Quick question. We never really talked about this. Were any of the party members aware that Fred was no longer sleeping in like a coffin? Did any of us know that he was sleeping in the dirt under the wagon?
I mean,
definitely
honestly,
wouldn't know.
I've never wanted to go in there and check. At least I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
any of us would have known.
Did Fred mention it to anyone?
I mean, not specifically. I don't think he tried. I don't think he tried to hide it, but I don't necessarily think he made it a point to tell anybody. Also,
Okay.
I'm sure you guys probably would not have like questioned him doing weird things around his cart because he was always doing weird shit around his cart.
I mean, I feel like at least for a little while, like he was already like distancing himself. So we're just kind of like, okay, guess he's just having moods.
So if Hannah knew that Fred was sleeping in the dirt, then she would be like, start digging it up, yo. Like
Why
she would
do we
lift her
care?
hand and basically be like, start digging. I want to know if he's hiding down there and we just need to wake his ass up.
Well, there's a difference between him being gone, as in he left us, and, you know, all the weird shit that's happened to us on this trail, and him being gone, like, taken. So
Right.
the fact that he left all of his... I'm answering Megan's question of why do we care.
Yeah.
If Bertram and the dog are gone with him and the orb, then I mean, at least Bill would assume that they just fucked off because they all went together. It's not like just Fred is missing.
It's true.
Okay.
But on the other side, Hannah would still be like, dig.
Well, I mean, we tried to search. We totally didn't find nothing. So
Yeah.
must be that he wanted not to be found.
He's
If he
gone.
did leave all
No
the stuff behind, Tony, then that's 4 dots of resources that I have in terms of like cash and money.
All right, cool.
Well, bye, Fred.
Y'all are rich now.
I'm rich, bitch.
Y'all got life. Y'all got my life insurance.
We had
Your
feelings for
brothers?
about like 5 minutes, and then we're just like, okay.
All of Pip's
Right.
feelings are pissed offness. Like,
Right.
Hannah
Well,
would
now
we
you're
were
the
fucking
one,
fighting, and now he's gone.
You're the one who has left now.
Yeah.
Grandpa fell down the stairs. You're in full control.
So
You can
Hannah-
go down the well.
Let's say Hannah would be concerned because she would want to know whether or not he actually left. I mean, it's apparent that he probably left, but maybe something took them, seeing as how we've had all these weird encounters. And if something managed to take Fred, Bertram, Rolf, and the orb, then who's to say that something couldn't happen to any of us? Would
So
be
I
my
guess we
argument.
did leave something. I mean, it was a hasty note for Daryl, but
Right.
it was something. So there was some intent there.
Well, there was no note actually. So
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
Oh.
there was. He recanted that. There's
I
no
thought there
note.
was still a note, but just no. Okay, never mind then. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, that got retconned like 3 times differently. So don't worry.
Yeah, there's no note.
I thought the note was still there.
Tony, just so
Never
I'm
mind.
clear on what happened with Fred, it's just that he got the call he's going off and following the ball to his eventual new voivode, right?
Yeah, he's basically he's transitioned another step, and yeah, he's like, nope, now's the time.
What do you do? Fucking turn into a butterfly and just like.
Time to go to that cocoon.
Right.
Once you guys are good, I'll have some rolls for you for some more info.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
good.
think I'd be a butterfly made entirely out of
We're
flesh.
like, we should find him. We should try to figure out what happened to him. If you guys went searching and you didn't find anything, Hannah's still going to be like, well, are we going to stay and look for him, or are we just going to leave? Like, I would want to stay and look.
Lazarus, at some point or another, Lazarus comes to the group, considering that, he's a little bit of a part of it and sees that everything's going on. There's a ruckus, and says, every so often back when I was when I was a little boy, we'd have the older kids, the ones who'd already gotten the change. Every so often, one of them would just kind of run off and go do their own thing. I guess they said they wanted to, spread out and start new packs and stuff like that. I don't know if this is about the same thing, because, he's a vampire and not a shifter, but it could be something similar.
I'm
Are you
sorry. Are you
remembering-
insinuating that Fred has run off like a wolf to stop his own pack?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he did have that ball that you all said he got from some other werewolves out here, right? That's what that thing was. I'm pretty sure he said.
She would not say Fred
Since
is
when does Russ remember his upbringing in Scandinavia?
Russ remembers everything up to the point where he got changed,
Ah.
and then nothing after. He remembers none of his life except for. Yeah, he remembers everything up to the point where he got turned, and then everything after he woke up. He remembers none of his time as a vampire.
Ah, congrats. You win the award for Vampire Werewolf on this game and actually remember it. All right.
Yeah.
There's always one.
I told you he was the one who got turned because his sire hated the get, so he wanted.
No, I remember that part. I just didn't remember that you remembered your childhood. So
yeah, very little bit of it. He specifically doesn't remember how to speak his language or any of his names of his parents or brothers or sisters or whatever. He just remembers the vagaries.
Oh, that's
He doesn't
weird. I
remember
didn't even know that was possible. But I guess so. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I was like, Hannah would look at you and be like, I mean, I'm not going to say no, that's not a good theory, but because I don't have any other theories. So, okay, that's a possibility, I guess.
I can tell you right now, if he was taken by something, they're above my ability to track. They left nothing.
I really, really don't want to be found.
Terrifying.
So either he left of his own volition and didn't want us to follow, or if something took him, I don't know that we can even look for him.
So if people want to make some rolls,
Yeah.
let's start with a int plus occult.
Oh, yeah.
No, this way.
Difficulty
There you
difficulty 8.
What?
8.
8? I got 2.
I'm sorry, what are you rolling?
Int plus occult.
Thank you.
I guess we can do it here. How that looks like 1 and 2. But wait, looks like 4. No, it's 1 and 2.
That one?
Yeah.
All right.
4.
2.
Net 2.
Two.
1.
Okay, so with one success, you're like probably and the weird changes he was going through. 2, you're like, yeah, he was drifting far from what anyone considered a normal Samisi, where which he even then was off from that. 3 and 4,
It's normal.
you further understand that he actually was more Samisi than most people consider. And he was kind of the land inhabited. And for better or for worse, terrifyingly, he is linking to this land. So this may just be part of that transition. Did anyone get higher than 4?
I don't think so.
Crickets, cool. Next roll, go ahead and make an int plus alertness, difficulty 6.
I'm so bad at this.
I got 7.
1.
2 again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5.
All right, yeah, that fucker sure was sleeping under his cart for the last week or 2. Yeah, I know, like a good month or so.
Someone's sleeping under the cart.
Yeah. He sure was, and he sure isn't under the cart right now. So if digging starts happening, no, he's not under there. Although there is a lot of pre-churned earth. Like there is a definite like epicenter where the earth is easy to clear, and then more hard pack like almost rock and
Use nieces for farming.
So yeah.
So I'm assuming the people that figure that he's becoming one with the earth in this place share it with the rest of the group, or no?
I mean, yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay. So on that note, Hannah is going to go into Fred's caravan and find an empty bottle and collect some of the dirt from under the cart and cork it and take it with her.
That's weird. That's a weird thing to do.
Hey. I mean, is that like really good dirt or something?
Hey, that's their question.
What was
Who's
that?
cussing?
He's got a jar of dirt.
Oh. Hannah is interested in all things. She likes to learn about
like
stuff, and this is something she hasn't encountered before. So she's going to take the dirt.
Okay.
You
Bill's
do
not
you.
gonna ask questions. Bill's just gonna watch it happen and go, huh.
And go, that's weird.
That's the thing that just happened right there.
One
That's
more
wit.
One more wit plus alertness, difficulty 7.
Wits plus
Oh, wits, I can do this. Does intuition count?
Yeah.
difficulty 7.
1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
Which was this? 7?
7.
What's the difficulty? I forgot.
7.
Oh. I rolled mostly below 7. Wow. I got exactly 0.
So with your powers combined, you can tell that Captain Planet made a large enough furrow of dirt under the cart to accommodate Bert's large frame.
I mean, that was the thing he could do.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing you did.
It's weird. I stand by it. It's weird.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you.
I don't believe anybody does.
I just see a poster with Bill's face that says, "I stand by it. It's weird."
So, okay, so he went down to the earth and then like ran away under the earth.
Who's asking?
Frankie.
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 I mean, I hope he's not asking me because I don't know.
I don't know. What do you call those things? Toricles? Those things. Questions. I don't know. You know what I mean.
I actually don't know what you mean.
I think you said rhetorical, but I heard Torkoal, which is a kind of Pokemon, and I was like, I don't think.
I thought you were trying to talk about oracles.
Right.
I thought it was someone who prophesizes while twerking.
I don't know. Frankie barely reads. I don't even know if he does read.
Well, you're a Malkavian. You probably fucking know about Pokemon, so.
Sure, yeah. Somewhere in the future. Like, part of my brain is already in the future playing it.
She's the opening theme song.
How did you get a smartphone? I'm playing a Malkavian. All right.
That's a good answer for a lot of things.
Right.
You hear 1,000 screams. No, it's fine. Just
There's one Malkavian in our old games back home that was wearing jeans.
Really? Where did he get them from? No one knows.
He doesn't know. That was his pants. He was just wearing jeans.
You should be in this jar of dirt.
Sure.
Hannah secretly talks to the jar of dirt as though it were Fred.
That is definitely weird.
Right. I said secretly. You don't see this. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay, then I can't say nothing about it.
Who plays all the Cowboys? Sam something?
What?
Who's the grizzly old dude that plays all Cowboys ever?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Yeah, somewhere a Sam Elliott voiceover with Hannah talking to the dirt. And it's like, well, she ain't Malkavian, but she sure is acting like one.
Give it a few weeks, and then Hannah sort of sees a tiny little Fred sprouting out of.
That's weird. Oh my god,
that would be amazing.
Little Fred,
baby Fred, starts dancing and crying
It's the hat first, right?
That's very strange. Yes.
I would name
Yeah.
They're all named Fred. It's just Frederick, Freddie, Fred.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Fred's gone.
I guess that's what. All right.
But now you have to look back. You still have Fred's cart and all the weird shit.
Yeah.
Did the other two dogs just stick with me and Abe?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a little sad, but not too sad.
Hey, before I left, I'm requesting that I finished the screen trombone.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, you left that behind as a gift.
There is a cart of horrors available for
we go in there like, wow, there's like a whole orchestra of instruments in here.
There is a Foot Locker, literally.
God damn it.
There are three temporary dots of resources you can split up as you wish.
Is there anything that looks expensive, or is it all just like bones?
Frankie would have no idea.
There's at least one. So I would say that my resources, he would have carried at least one large chest just full of straight old gold coins, basically.
So basically what I'm saying is Frankie's like, is there anything that looks shiny? I'm going to pick that up.
There's a trombone.
Is it a real trombone? Made out of metal?
No.
He said shiny.
No, it's shiny.
I look at this trombone and I see teeth where the horn should be, and they're like, no.
So Hannah suggests that we just split the gold among the party. The entire group?
Yeah. Only 3 dogs, though. How does that work?
I don't know. How does that work?
Up to 3 people can have a temporary dot.
Yeah, but I mean, there's more than 3 of us.
Yeah, there is.
So how does that work?
I don't know. You figure it out.
Bill doesn't want any of his weird money.
Yeah,
she got her own money.
One person can take all 3 temp dots. One person can take 2. Another person can take 1.
All right. Hannah takes a dot.
We should have Abe take one because he does the supply runs.
Yeah, if Abe gets one, it'll go towards basically like towards the group, right? Like he'll put it towards supplies.
Same. I was about to say Hannah will take a temp dot and then distribute it as needed for when we hit towns.
Frankie's just like used to living on the street and going, "Hey, money, I'm gonna hoard it."
I would say Pip has the same idea. She's going to use it to fix up wagons and get the rest of the humans more outfitted.
All right, so who's taking dots? Because there's only 3.
I'll
So
take a
that,
dot.
like, that sounds like 3 to me. I wasn't actually going to take any. Frankie was
yeah.
like, "Let's look around. This is a weird horn. Yeah, I'm going to go now."
All right, so Abe, Hannah, and Mrs. Sterling take dots.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we split Fred's loot.
I mean,
Like a
better
proper,
than what I'd rather do with him.
like a proper RPG party.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone now. Let's
Someone
see what
drops.
his stuff is like.
Yeah, you just don't want most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, most of it is gross. So did we just like burn the rest?
Wow. I say we just bury the feet.
Yeah, I was going to say without Fred being there
There is a nice hole now.
Yeah.
to take care of the fleshier bits. So like if they were
Bury it.
feet with like skin and stuff on it, those things are going to decompose.
Appeared. So.
Bones, people can do whatever they want with the bones. Like those should be fine.
The weird werewolf skull, I think, is still attached to the front of his cart. The one with the antlers.
Mm-hmm.
That's so tacky.
What?
Um,
We'll move this to another cart.
So if
Pimp my ride.
if you like Jared, I would love for a doc with a short list of the more esoteric items that were found in the cart. And then we can share that to the group, and that way they can figure out whether or not it got buried or someone claimed it as inheritance.
The string trombone,
Yeah.
the typewriter made out of teeth.
Mhm. He used the jawbone as the return shuttle.
I mean, honestly, this would be pretty good for like a freak show like display.
I mean, there's definitely someone out there who's going to want that shit.
Yeah.
I know
Just
those
saying.
people.
The one thing
East a whole bunch.
Actually, yeah.
we might not get rid of.
Frankie,
And
go
the
ahead
one
and
thing-
roll a wits plus. A wits plus. Which sheet are you using, Masquerade or Dark Ages?
Masquerade.
Wits plus finance.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Intuition.
7.
Oops. Is an intuition count?
Sure.
Okay. 3. Oh, 4 actually. 4.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Whoa! Hello. That was a noise. I got 4.
Go ahead. Go ahead and add a temporary dot of resources. And Jaren, if you could come up with something nice she pilfered from your cart, and let her know what it is before next game.
Is it like a gilded skull?
The one thing that would have been left behind, or at least that I can think of immediately that he would have left, is Delia now has his whole bag full of Sawbones stuff, his doctor's kit, which is all very, very good, meticulously made, proper doctor's like barber, surgeon, like implements. It's all just made out of bone.
Probably human bone.
So she woke up and there was a really nice bag next to her now.
Nice.
Wow, see who he liked.
Wow. Yeah.
Just kidding.
He showed an interest in common interests.
Also, she helped save that guy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, she did. All right.
Like, how many of our fucking, like, humans ended up semi-ghoul to me for a minute?
That's true.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Anyway. I'm back.
Hi.
So yeah, that takes most of that night.
All right.
Lou tells Ebbett more or less that it's like, oh yeah, no, it's a damn shame. It happens, just wandered off, couldn't find him. We should get going. It's unfortunate. Oh yeah, no, it's terrible.
Oh, we're so upset the creepy one is gone.
So.
Oh no, it's so sad we can't find him while they're stuffing his gold in their pockets.
Pockets full of coin.
Worst.
Yup.
Whispers to a jar of dirt, you will be remembered.
Hey, question: Did we ever establish, did Lazarus and Annie have their own wagon, or were they just like kind of hooking up with somebody else?
I thought they had their own wagon.
Yeah, I would think they had a wagon.
Okay.
But if someone wants to, refurbish the cart or the carriage, it's now available.
Are we just leaving that there? Like, what do we do?
I was about to say,
just leave the cart full of like fucking horrific bullshit just here.
Leave it as a warning to werewolves. Look, you too could become a cart full of gross shit.
Yeah, push it up to the side so it gets overgrown, and then it becomes like a figment of like figure of legend, like a haunted house, but a cart.
Somebody will discover it, and then in a couple of centuries, this will fuel conspiracy theories all over the internet.
Yeah.
Yup.
Is there anyone like in our party, not in our party, but like any of our ghouls or any of our other in the wagon party that need a cart? Like, I know a cart is kind of extra resources, but like, is there anyone that would want one, do you think?
Daryl actually pipes up and he's like, yeah, we don't really, we've been sharing a cart with one of the hands, but it also has a bunch of gear in it. And
I mean, it kind of makes sense for it to go to Daryl.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Just
So
don't
Daryl-
play the weird trombone, Daryl.
so the cart stays in the von Schlieben family.
Yes.
But feeling.
And that takes pretty much the whole night. And Ebbet's like, well, it's real late, but we can get started at first light, and that way. And Louie's like, oh no, we're tired now.
Oh,
You did
no.
a lot of digging.
So we should start later. Yeah.
Can you pick high or low for me?
Low.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, 1 to 5. Yeah, so at some point or another, I'll say one of the things that was in the cart, which might lead to it going to Daryl, is a crib.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's terrifying, but it's a crib. Like,
I don't know where these ribs came from. I just said that they came from the bison.
mostly made out of your cage, but still.
This guy just only wants to go to.
The foot of it is this like leering skeleton, like on the side of it. Like, oh,
It's got a little mobile above it, but it's just got like eyeballs.
Yeah.
Ew.
it's like a
If I
tiny
had-
skeleton wearing a bonnet.
If I had more time, I would have made the crib so that it was like a living creature, so it could walk around.
No, stop.
It's like the bathtub from Nightmare.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
kind of exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
I how the hand bones tinkle off the little mobile like a wind chime. All right. So you guys call it a day after that adventure, and you go sleep. You wake back up. You lose another blood point. You get another willpower point.
Where are we?
Still at Ebbett's post.
I'm currently Eliza, and Eliza has not been awake for a while.
Oh boy.
It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Father, where are we?
Wow.
We're in the stink hole.
Yeah. I was supposed. Let's look. I'll bring you up.
Okay.
Is there
I can't hear him.
I have some strange memories.
it's supposed
Yeah. Well, that's one way to put it.
So yeah, exposition.
That's right. Fade to black for a second.
Oh,
I forgot my off Theo.
Sure.
And then we buried all the feet. I think that covers pretty much
oh.
the whole deal.
All right then.
And then we buried all the
Real surprising amount of feet in there.
Well, I hope that is right.
Mrs. Sterling.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Mrs. Sterling.
Okay. I heard Miss.
Is it Miss? Why do I screw this up?
No, Mrs.
It
Stewart.
is Mrs.
It is Mrs.
I am married, but you always say Miss.
This one actually said Mrs.
Yeah.
For
You
what?
did it correct?
The sound cut out for a second.
Oh. I'm gonna be eating off my own, so I need you to like make it so he don't get sick.
I guess I can do this.
Thank you. Infectious bite.
Wait, what?
So we
What did
Now,
she
what
do?
we're gonna do is we're gonna bleed your person, and you don't bite them.
okay. Well, however that works.
Oh. Okay.
Anyways,
Dealey can do it too now.
it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
What?
Yeah, I'm not
We
sure
got-
I follow.
Or he can do it the old-fashioned way that Bill does it.
Miss
Sure.
Allen has an infectious bite. If she bites her ghoul, she will infect him and make him sick. So,
Oh, Fred used to do this?
Miss Allen?
Well, I mean, Fred used to do that for Hannah. And that's why she needs someone else to do it? I'm so
Delia can now do it as well. And I was saying, or you can do it the old-fashioned way like Bill does it.
I think
Yeah.
Hannah would just kind of go to whoever was available. So theoretically, she probably was going to Fred, seeing as how Mrs. Sterling was sequestering herself.
Yeah. No,
That's
originally it was I was the one that was doing it for
Yeah.
her, which is why she alerted me again. But I was like, I've been fucking gone. So
Yep.
I wasn't helping nobody.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hey.
Lisa or Jessica, her blood, I guess.
Are you
Okay.
spending extra blood point every night? Or you're a disease carrier, right?
Yeah.
So you're spending 2 blood every time you wake up?
No.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, okay.
That's what Bill
Yeah,
does.
that's what I do.
That's what Bill has
Guess
to do.
we're all diseased now. Oh well.
Full of.
Not me.
I have mentioned this on multiple occasions. You've never once told me anything.
I
Forgot.
also,
Oh God.
I don't know if it matters if you don't bite him or not, because you're feeding him your vitae. So he's just straight up ingesting it.
Has he worked up a tolerance?
Either that, or he should have been dead like 5 sessions ago, and Tony forgot.
Wait, what disease do you have?
Infectious bite.
No, what disease though?
Oh, what
Oh,
disease?
that's different.
No, it's.
Oh, you have infectious bite.
I have infectious bite. It's not a. It's different.
You could have, for flavor, named your own disease. So, like with Amaris, I had infectious bite, but I made it as venom because she was so
dropped out
fake.
there.
I don't recall picking anything. I don't think it's for me. I needed to pick something.
Yeah, I mean it's just
Did you
flavor.
tell everybody what
They
that
have to.
platform
All right,
was?
cool. Just making sure.
I think I told Megan when we were coming back.
Oh, right. Okay.
Where did you get that flaw? Do you remember?
I don't have the pages on what the flaws are now.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. So what do you have written on your sheet?
Infectious bite.
Period.
Okay. You lack the enzymes that allow most kindred to seal the wounds caused by their feeding.
Yeah.
You may not automatically lick the wounds of your feeding closed.
Right.
In fact, your bites have 1 in 5
So
chances.
that's why I was going over and licking her people after she was done.
But there was also the 1 in 5 chance. But
Can you lick my people?
Yep.
I mean, I want to save the humans. I'll lick the people.
Lick them closed, please.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, no, if someone else with the enzymes licks it closed, there's no longer the 1 in 5. The 1 in 5 is to denote that he's just have an open wound. Bye.
Okay. So I just need her to lick the wound closed.
And you're good.
And I'm good. Sweet. All right, cool. Glad to clear that up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Things I never realized I needed to know.
Because lack the enzymes isn't a sexy flaw. So.
Wait, so do I still
I mean, that's me just with alcohol.
I'm good to go. Okay, cool.
I mean, if you're cool like us and you know that like lacks the enzymes means that the licking is just for fun, then yeah.
you still lick. It's just you're lapping the blood up like a cat.
It just makes her sound like she's lactose intolerant.
Something intolerant.
Hemoglobin intolerant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Bill punches people in the neck because she doesn't have any fangs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with her.
As well.
Fred had a fucking Capri Sun straw and just tapped people.
That's true. Fred did, but that was by choice, not loud.
You should ask Abe to hook you up with a good maple spigot. That would
Oh my god! You're gonna put like some human.
Just tap it.
Oh man, that's the next level.
Right.
But that's really dreadful, Father.
just leave it in there. Like just turn it on when I need it, and then
Sure, him and Delia could work something out.
That's really smart. That's really fucking smart. Like we should do that.
Right? Just hang a bucket. Yeah.
But Bill also has disease carrier, which is why the 2 dots to suppress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill is actually diseased.
She got the consumption.
I got consumption.
Consumption.
What's your function?
Filling my host the slowest way I can. I'll leave.
So, with all that fun taken care of, the wagon train starts making its way through very narrow tree line, atop some very steep grades. Because these paths are intended for mules. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We're gonna get stuck. We're gonna break like 10 axles.
Yeah.
We're gonna die of dysentery.
So, whoever's driving a wagon, give me manipulation plus drive or animal ken.
I think that's you.
I thought they drove for. I thought the cruisers drove for you.
Oh, you want the humans to do the rolls?
I don't know. I always just assumed that was how it worked.
Manipulation, but
I'm like,
no.
I don't know.
It doesn't drive her own thing.
But I mean, if we're leaving at night, then I guess it's fine.
Drive.
I just had assumed
Your pool is still higher than mine.
it's us during the day.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
I mean, mine is. Sorry, I heard 6.
So, Theo would be driving my wagon.
All right.
I got
Oh,
3.
that's nice.
Dr.
What was the difficulty?
Oh.
Our wagon has 3.
I got 3.
Theo's ghostwriting that fucking wagon through those.
I'm sorry. You said animal can drive and what?
Number 1.
Manipulation plus animal ken or drive.
Oh, I don't have any of that shit. Difficulty
6.
Well, are you driving your wagon?
Yeah,
Lisa?
wouldn't it be
Of course, I'm
Jean-Pierre?
not driving my wagon. Jean-Pierre's driving my wagon, but Jean-Pierre can't roll. I have to roll.
That's true.
Understood.
Can you
Does
imagine?
Jean-Pierre have drive?
I don't know. Does he?
I mean, I assume he's been the one driving my carriage this entire time. He should have figured it out by now.
Right?
Probably got a dot by now.
He's got a code. He's got to drive.
Still nothing.
Uh-oh.
All right. You're with him.
I'm with him.
Lose a blood point or 2 if necessary. Gain a willpower. And you guys are stopped in a line along the edge of a very steep cliff.
Oh dear.
And you gotta
Is
sort
that
of
another day later now?
Yeah. And you gotta sort of lean
Damn it, Eliza never gets to do anything.
to not fall off the edge. And the wagon train is held up because Pip's cart is at a cant. One of the wheels is dangling in space.
Nope. Why do we stop? Do you feel it rocking like precariously? Like
actually, Pip wakes up in someone else's carts.
What do we do?
Pip wakes up in whose cart?
One of the humans with Patricia and Jean-Pierre there, being like, "Yeah, we didn't want to leave you in there where it is right now, and we're working on slowly working it back onto the trail."
Appreciated.
Question.
So is this a third night or is this
Yes.
still the second? Okay.
third night.
But what did we do last night? We didn't do anything last night.
Nothing, just traveling.
We were just traveling.
You traveled a bit.
I mean, like, from Eliza's point of view, it was basically a lot of exposition and traveling and then sleep.
A rotation of blood. So I think every night we're able to pull 2 points from the rotation.
I'm assuming that.
Our nightly ability to feed is from our herd is 2 points a person, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for you, it should pretty much even out pretty much every day.
Yeah. Does anyone want to get up under that wagon to try and?
Yeah.
I was
gonna
like,
say-
wood.
Lazarus will definitely try to go from the cliff side because I'm pretty sure he can climb pretty well.
All right. So it sounds like Pip, Abe, and Russ are gonna be the push squad.
Yeah.
All right. Do you all have potence?
I have none.
I do, yeah.
Pip doesn't?
No.
Abe, do you have potence?
Yep.
How many dots, Abe?
I got 2.
Russ?
Yeah, 2.
All right. Pip, make me a strength plus athletics roll. Difficulty 5.
Three.
Yeah, between the 3 of you, it basically just gets shunted up onto the trail, real simple. And Lou continues to talk to Ebbett at the front of the train, keeping his back to the interaction.
As Russ and Abe are just kind of like, hurt.
Yep.
Ugh.
Wow.
Pip.
She's keeping it straight because she doesn't want the boys to just jostle all her shit.
Yeah, they're gonna break everything in there.
I mean, I am the one running around with a bunch of nice china.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
So you guys managed to get that back on track. Good job. And the train continues on.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make those rolls once more. The manipulation plus animal ken or drive. Difficulty 8.
Uh-oh. Using willpower if you need to.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll do.
And then burn up a point of willpower on that one.
Yeah. Me too.
2 this time.
That's 2 as well.
Bill
I'm sorry,
and Russ both got 0.
Man.
I just had this vision of all of us just falling down this mountain, and it was like, okay, you got your TPK. We all went down the mountain and died.
Right.
Anyway,
So did anyone get less than 2?
Yeah, we did.
Both of us got 0.
Both of us got 0.
All right. So Bill's wagon and Russ's wagon starts to slide. Well, let me see here. Both of you roll a d10 and tell me what number you get.
You rolling for me there?
Yeah. Okay, I got 3, and Jaren got 9.
All right, Bill, your wheels start to slide down the hillside, and Russ, one of his axles break.
there we go. Do we have spare axles? Or did we trade those in for all those guns we got that we don't use?
And traded in for like 70 barrels of gunpowder.
There are 10 spare axles in Fred's cart, but they're all made out of spines, so they're useless.
And they do that weird thing.
Bone is so brittle.
No, you guys are stocked up on axles. There's just it's going to take all night to repair it on the side of this hill. Plus, the strong lads are going to need to push Bill's cart back up on the trail again.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck.
So
Have
the,
fun with that.
the 2 dots of potence sort of zero that out. Pip, are you going to help Bill's wagon?
I can do that.
All right. Strength plus athletics. Difficulty 7.
3.
Nice. You guys managed to get it straightened out once more while Lou and Ebbett help with the axle. So that takes up the rest of that night. You guys go back to sleep?
How many
what?
nights has it been now? Is this the 4th one?
Yeah, this is now like 4th, and we're going to move into a 5th.
Okay.
Skipping 4th?
This was the 4th.
That was the third night.
It's still the 3rd. Oh, is the 4th? Okay, 4th. Sorry.
Okay, I have to feed Jean-Pierre and Patty.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, I have to be eating somebody this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
And then once more with the manipulation plus drive or animal ken, difficulty 7.
Ah, feck.
You gonna roll it, though?
I got 2 1s.
Oof.
Yike. All right.
Uh-oh, we got a bot?
Does Jean-Pierre want to spend some willpower?
Yeah, he does.
Let's say he has 4.
Okay. So he has the same as me.
Is he going to burn 2 to get net 0? Is he going to burn 3
I think he's going to burn 2.
to net 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what was the difficulty for this one?
7.
Okay. So I got 3.
I got 3.
3.
Great. Good. Okay. So, Pip's cart and one of the humans. Actually, Lisa, roll a d10 and tell me the number on it.
7. Now you roll 7s.
Axles.
Huh?
1 axle for you, Pip, and one of the humans. Their entire center brace shatters. They got to fix the lead to the oxes as well as the axle. So you guys are stuck there on the side of the hill for another night and day.
So we're on day 6 now?
Yes.
Ugh.
I need to feed.
You gonna have someone lick Theo for you again?
Yes, please. Do I have to ask?
No, it sounded like there was a volunteer already.
Okay, thank you.
Slurping over the feet. Cool.
Thank God, jeez.
So having survived those travails, you come out through into sort of a almost a valley. Technically, it's a valley because there are larger mountains around, but you know you're still high up in elevation, around 4,000 feet. Ebbett says that, yeah, we should be coming into a small little camp that got put up earlier this year. Someone found gold in a creek, and so it's been building up since then. That's where I'll leave you guys and head back out to my post. You guys notice that these trees are ginormous. You haven't seen trees this large since you were up at Tahoe. And
but it's not Stella today.
As you start making your way into, you start smelling like campfire, and you start hearing the noise of humanity, not necessarily civilization.
Yeah.
And,
Russ smells stew.
oh yeah, he does. And y'all come into a fairly well decimated space near a creek with a couple with one small solid bridge made out of wood and other like planks that go across it and a bunch of stakes claimed out, and there is a couple really large tents scattered around, and Ebbett turns back to whoever's next to him and he's like, "Welcome to Murphy's Diggins. This is where I leave y'all." And so Lou hands him a small pouch, and Ebbett tips his hat to him, and Ebbett veers off and heads towards one of the larger tents while Lou leads the train to sort of a space that's a little muddy but out of the way, but still part of the encampment.
So this is it's an encampment. It's not it's not an official post yet.
It's definitely more of a civilization than Ebbett's post. Why?
Okay, nothing. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not they're buildings or it's just a bunch of tents and wagons.
There will be buildings soon, but
Bigger than Ebbett's post, but smaller than Tahoe.
actually a little bigger than Tahoe.
Oh, okay, interesting. More than it's a lot more civilization than we've seen in a while.
A lot more population.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a post office?
Not a physical building. There may be something resembling a mail carrier service, but you have to go. What was that?
Me?
I thought I heard someone pipe up.
So there's somewhere I can go that will post my mail.
Maybe. Are you going to go check?
Yes.
I think Basil's watching the feed on the other computer.
No, I see. Yeah, he's just staring. He's literally just staring at the screen.
Oh, he yawned.
There's
Okay.
people in that box.
Lost the interest in the cat. We're not doing well.
So, Mrs. Sterling tromps into camp.
Yep. With a good sized chest of letters.
You get.
She writes one every day.
You get a lot of stairs.
Yourself.
Well,
You get a lot of stares from.
And to get into town.
You get a lot of stares from all the men in the camp.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why Eliza's not going in. Unless somebody else wants to take her.
I don't know what's bigger than a sausage fest. But
At this point, she's like, fucking mess with me. See what I do.
I would think that Russ might also go into town at about the same time, not necessarily with Mrs. Sterling, but more just to go talk with the locals.
Eliza would ask to go with, if Abe is okay.
Abe would actually ask Russ if he knows he's going into town to take Eliza, because
Eliza's like, I can't go by myself.
Abe can't go traipsing into town. So
yeah, that's fair. Russ readily agrees to take the young lady. Well, as long as you're on your best behavior.
Of course. You notice that as Eliza, she dresses a lot more feminine.
Does Russ know that you have multiple personalities at this point?
I know he does.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think he would be aware at this point.
Yeah.
See, that's quite a rock he's sleeping under if he doesn't.
Well, I mean, he's spending most of his time with his wife, so.
That's true.
But I mean, Eliza still just says, yes, I will, of course. Of course.
So we'll also go into town and explore around. And I imagine Bill would probably be wandering in to look for a game, but she's in the bathroom at the moment.
So yes. I got distracted.
How's Russ's wife doing?
Oh yeah, Annie is she's regressed back to about where when you guys got there to Tahoe. She's not up and about. She doesn't really do visitors well. The last few days have been really rough.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Sterling, you sort of wander through camp. Let's see here. You sort of notice a gathering of men in front of one of the larger tents that appears to have sub-tents with provisions on tarps, like sort of raised off of the mud under tarps. And so it seems to be a social or commerce hub of some sort. And when you approach, all the hats come off immediately. They part like Moses in the Red Sea, and it's quite a thing. You haven't seen a display like that in quite some time. Make me a willpower check.
Oh no.
Difficulty
6.
As soon as he said it, I was like, God damn it.
Oh, shit. He's on the laptop. I closed the lid damn near. Probably killed the feed.
Did he?
Kinda.
Basil.
Naughty
One.
guy.
Did he kill it?
No, he just changed the.
I do. Meanwhile, I messed up my dice.
Basil's been messing with the laptop, so Tony's fixing it.
That's fine. Then we didn't lose audio.
That's amazing.
Silly cat.
He wants to be a part of the action.
Yeah. Fuck over here. How many was that? One?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. You are a wilting flower, a wilting southern flower. And
am I a wilting southern flower, being an English lady?
At this moment, yeah.
Okay.
But you manage to.
Am I a tepid cup of tea?
Yes, a little bit. And you manage to make your way inside, and anything that was sitting is suddenly standing upright, hats off again. And there's a makeshift like bar top counter underneath a bunch of barrels of various types, and there's a few guys leaning up against them, and they look over and they of course part, and the guy behind the counter has sort of a tailed coat and a bowler hat on, and a nice mustache that goes all the way up into the chops. And
I think Pip just raises her eyebrow at him.
Yep. And who the fuck are you?
My name is Philippa Sterling.
I wasn't in character. Oh my goodness. Ugh. This isn't how I pictured it would go. I have all these notes and stuff, and it's not the same as...
Did we break things?
No, the fact that you weren't here ruined things.
Aww.
It's fine.
Why?
Because it's a pain to do certain things, but it's all right.
There's Cat again.
Hi, Basil.
Hi, Basil.
Basil really wants to be part of this game.
Sup, bro?
Going into the cup again immediately.
He just doesn't want anybody to see Sally's or Jess's face.
What?
Look into the camera.
He's just staring at the screen.
You better not attack that laptop. I will squirt you. I will squirt you with water.
Where's our kitty?
She went away. She fucked up. She's being herself.
Yeah.
He tips his bowl, or he lifts the bowler, and
Ma'am. I got it. It's fine. Go ahead. I got it.
because chairs have been moved around, Basil now has new access to different things than previously, and it is way playtime for him, so he's uppity now.
I know. Can you get down?
He says, "Hola, mujer. What? How can I be of assistance?"
What?
I beg your pardon?
Hello. How can I help?
I don't even know what that accent is.
I know what he's going for. Pip puts the chest of letters and says, I need to make. I have some letters here that need to be posted. Can you tell me where I can do that?
He goes, see, yeah, no, right here is fine. We will, I can have those sent out next one out.
And when is the next one out?
Well, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week.
Deep sigh. If I leave them with you today and come back tomorrow, and they are still here, may I collect them?
Oh, see, yes, that's absolutely.
Wonderful. Pushes the chest toward him.
He accepts it. He accepts it, and he
a good 20 pounds.
Yeah, no, he sort of slides it on the bar, and he's like, so they all have their different addresses and the names.
They're all going to the same place.
Oh. Okay. Then let's do a deposit, and that way, if you pick it up before, I just return the deposit, and it's all good.
Wonderful.
He's like, he motions to open the box. He's like, may I?
You may.
And so he flips the lid off, and it's all packed in there, all tight. And he slides one up to see the address on it. And he goes, see, okay. And he sort of flips through them and sort of takes in the chest. And he goes, that'll be $5.
All right.
Okay.
A lot of money back then. Was it a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of shit to. It's a lot of shit to move.
Sure, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Y'all are also probably kind of flush with cash at the moment.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
Yeah, flush with Fred's cash.
He goes, "Uno momento," and he pulls out one of the letters and he looks at it and he goes, "¿Quién es who is Mrs. Sterling?"
I am Mrs. Sterling.
Oh, I have one for you. Okay, hold on. And he turns around
A back.
into the. He turns around and he rummages, he disappears into some boxes and is little boots dangling out from the top of a crate, and just every dude in the place is just like, what the fuck is going on? There's a woman
How long it's been there?
who talks funny, and now they're stoned. There's a redheaded gentleman who was right next to you as you came in, and he's also really engaged with the situation. If you look at all in his direction, he gives a head nod and is like, "Ma'am."
Sir.
Let's see here. He says, "Pardon me, ma'am. Daniel Murphy's. Welcome to our diggings."
I am Mrs. Philippa Sterling. Thank you.
He's like, if you need anything at all while you're in town, you let Antonio. He motions to the boots dangling. You let Antonio, myself, or my brother John know, and we'll be happy to oblige.
Why, thank you.
Sure thing. And he sort of turns back to his. He's got a weight. He's got a scales and a bunch of gold dust and a few different little weights for it, and he goes back to sort of sorting it, and it's a lot. There's a lot of money on that counter.
Yeah.
Ooh, so many
golden in Bar Hills.
And that there crick?
Yeah. I'm sorry, is that a creek or a crick? Like in one's neck?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, if someone. Well, it depends on who you ask.
Golden both.
That's weird.
It's weird. You're weird.
What? Oh, thank you.
Do you have anything that I can boost this up on? Get hot in the bottom.
Yeah.
There's no sauce.
No.
Milk was a bad choice. Okay. So while Antonio's boots swing back and forth out of a crate, Russ and Eliza also come into town.
Okay. I am totally taking an arm and looking wide-eyed at everything and being like, there's so many men here. Why aren't they staring?
I forgot, how tall are you, Eliza?
I mean, I'm still 14 years old, probably no more than, I don't know, 5 feet.
Okay. Because it's like a good, what did I say I was? 6'9" or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very large.
So maybe people don't look at me because they're like, oh.
It's both.
She's brought a bear with her to
It's both.
You're
Okay.
well dressed. I'm in furs, and I'm giant by comparison. So
So where are we going?
Yeah, everyone wants to know where that mountain man stole that little girl from.
Oh, gross.
I didn't even think about that.
Don't approve.
general store / like I don't know.
Where you keep your chicks at?
We
Yeah, the largest gathering of like if there's merchants or anything like that in town. That's
You
where
also see a large pavilion tent with other smaller tents and goods sort of staked out behind it. And there's like a small influx of people heading towards this tent of men. And you hear it.
so many men. I mean,
A
are there
woman.
any handsome men? Is what I want to know. But
Yes. Well, no, they're dirty. I don't know. What's your type?
what's my type?
Dirty. Type is dirty.
Probably just somebody that looks my age and like not too grimy. I would expect everyone would be grimy to some extent.
Oh yeah, no, it's a camp full of dudes. It's gross.
Oh, well, barred that, like I would just be craning my head over at the tables with stuff on it to see if there's anything actually pretty. But probably not.
Oh, you guys haven't quite gotten into the tent yet.
Okay.
But as you guys approach, you hear some of the other men sort of flocking towards the tent, where it's like, oh yes, no, an actual woman, a full-grown woman in skirts, and a few of them like stop mid-run and see the two of you and are just dumbfounded.
Oh,
Wait until Bill and Delia walk into town.
And
I
you
guess
don't
I
see
don't
any-
count as a full-grown anything.
there are some guys who are close to your age, but they ain't clean at all. They are gross.
All right. Well,
It's a
I
good
am
thing it
not
can't
that
smell.
interested. I ask,
you guys.
well, mostly because I mostly ask Russ, like, are they talking about Mrs. Sterling?
Well, I mean, probably. She got here a little earlier than we did, so I imagine she
Doesn't seem to
causes
be a single other woman around here.
well out here. A woman of her caliber would probably throw a fair bit of a mess into all the fellas around.
No,
They're used to seeing.
they're dirty. I don't think she would like that.
They're generally not concerned much about what she likes.
Oh, that sounds awful. Maybe we should go see if she's all right.
You should. He just like pats her on the hand and says, "You should probably not. Well, you should probably not really talk with most of these fellers out here, unless you're looking to get a snack of some sort. In which case, then you should probably have your pa help you out with that a little."
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not that interested. Let's go to where we were going.
Yeah, we're still headed towards the thing. He's specifically looking for medicinal carts or any sort of teas, tinctures, anything. There's probably a snake oil salesman. He's probably looking for like
Oh man.
carry.
Um,
There's probably at least one guy there selling stuff for your ego.
Miracle elixir.
yeah, as you guys sort of stand there and have your little chit chat before reorienting, a small crowd sort of gathers around you, but they keep their distance. It's mostly just the novelty of this other female dressed as a girl, because Eliza does dress up a little bit feminine, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point she had managed to acquire like a decent dress or two. So yeah, she's going out like somewhere where there's other people, so she put her best one on.
Sure. And funny enough, all very respectful. All keep their distance. None of them try and get up in your business. Hats off, that sort of thing. So as far as Russ is concerned, everyone's being civil, just gawking.
Yeah.
So as you sort of reorient, you notice another tent off to the side that has like red and white sort of strips of cloth, sort of in a mock barber pole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that typically denotes someone who has something resembling medical information or knowledge.
Yep.
What passes for it around here?
It's the camp's barber surgeon. The sawbones.
Yeah. So you guys head over there, and you sort of knock on the little post, and you hear a voice say, "Come on in."
We go inside the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a modest tent. It's got a couple cots off on one side and a little table with a couple chairs in the middle. There's carpet, and off along the back there's like a makeshift workbench and shelves with all sorts of bottles and such, and a little cabinet off to the right as you walk in. And you see an older gentleman, good jowls, clean shaven, nice top hat. He's not wearing his jacket. He's got his shirt sleeves rolled up, and he's wiping his hands down on a towel that he sets down on the workbench. And he goes, "Howdy. Oh, evening, miss."
Good evening.
Well, how can I assist?
You the sawbones?
Ain't had to do that quite yet, thankfully. Yes, Adam Lee Moore. How'd your service?
Second. More. Okay, cool. Says welcome, or howdy. My name is Lazarus. Feel free to call me Russ. My wagon train just rolled in with a number of my fellas compatriots. My wife is with us in the train, and she's feeling a bit under the weather. Do you all have anything for helping deal with coughing? She's got a little bit of issue with the breathing and whatnot. Yeah, you look right.
Rhea Perlman, don't you dare.
Hey.
He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I sure do hope your mama gets better," he says to Eliza.
Liza just blushes and nods. A little embarrassed, but doesn't want to counter at like.
Right.
Russ just chooses to not counter this. It actually is also kind of embarrassed too.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, absolutely. We got a couple little things. We're pretty well stocked.
I forgot I was a vampire for a moment there.
One of the caballeros from down there in the valley. He doesn't talk like. He goes, yeah, one of the caballeros down there from the valley brought up some supplies recently. It was a real good boon for us. Here, let me see here. And he goes over to the little chest of drawers and starts pulling a couple things out. Puts them to the side. Goes over to his workbench. Pulls out a little jar. Sets it down. He starts mixing things. He starts mixing things up and putting them into other little jars. And he goes, actually, this might take a few hours, but yeah, I've got let's see here. What do I got? He's got a thing. Yes, he's like, I have a tincture here that should help out for a good week or two, and got some bombs. You know, keep the oils, you burn the oil, and then it helps with clearing passages. So yeah, some of that should be good. It's going to take me a little bit to put them together. So if you want to stop on by afternoon tomorrow, I can. I'll have them by then.
Well, if you don't mind, I may have to send another fellow over to. I got some stuff to take care of with the wagon, but if we could have another fellow stop by with your payments and pick that up, then I'd be much obliged.
No, absolutely, sure, yeah. Let's see here. So under McDaniel, and let's see. This will run about 3 bits.
He honestly probably doesn't. Well, no, he would know a little bit about how much stuff would cost, but he doesn't really care particularly because it's for Annie. So he just agrees. He agrees readily. It's like as soon as he says the cost, it's like, yep, no problem. Again, we're flush with cash, so.
He goes,
Blood money, goat money, you know.
More like foot money, but still.
Yeah,
Foot money. Paid for this medicine with foot money.
He goes, oh, and little something extra, and he pulls out a little drawer, and he pulls out a jar full of little orange balls. And he pops open the jar, and he hands it down to you, Eliza. He's like, do you like candy?
Oh.
I look at Russ like in a bit of a panic. Like
I just kind of nudge her a little bit.
What do I say, eyes?
I just kind of look down and I kind of nudge her a little bit and like try to give a subtle nod.
Yes, I do.
Aw, do I like this, Papa?
I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to make decisions.
He taps you on the hand. It's all right. You can take one.
Okay. Put it in my mouth. But trying to like act like it's good.
Russ is like, just eat the shit.
He chuckles. He pops one in his mouth as well.
Fine.
Russ will take one too if he's offering.
Oh yeah, no, the jar. Hi, Basil. He chuckles as well and holds up the jar to Russ, and he's like, just just don't chew on them, because then you end up with me and you won't have your own anymore. And he puts the jar back in. And
does he not have any teeth?
He there are teeth there, but the implication is that they aren't his anymore.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. They're just like orange candies.
So yeah, so he says he's like, those are on the house, and he stores the jar and stores it away.
Thank you kindly.
He's like, my pleasure. Nice to see a face around. He's like, yeah, if y'all want to come by, in the morning or evening for campfire, that sort of thing, we love to swap stories. We get a lot more travel through here, but always good to see new faces after the thaw.
Well, that sounds mighty fine. We'll see if we can make it on out.
Yes.
With that, that's all Russ really cares about for town, other than maybe going into wherever there's a meeting or wherever there's a gathering of people and just kind of like gathering information about the area.
When you come out of the tent, there's a small troop of men sort of waiting a distance away from the tent. And
I get a handkerchief and go.
Yeah.
When Russ walks out, there's an unspoken "aw," and then and the hats come off immediately, and there's just glaring again, gawking. And they let you go about your business, but still there it is.
Right?
And the camp is sort of empty, except for at that tent you guys saw earlier, the large pavilion tent.
Where we heard people talking about a woman,
A full-size woman.
a full-sized woman. That's a weird way to say that.
I mean, she's a
fairly large.
full-grown woman.
I think that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
Full size, not like fun size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm more
Terrible. Terrible.
No,
I'm
we
leaving.
didn't deal here about
Yay.
two full-size women in here.
Yeah.
I did the British thing and wrote her height down in centimeters, so I don't really know how to picture.
Wow, your roleplay started you.
My sheet is so in character.
Well, she's also 7.5 stone, so
I guess nobody around here would even know what that means. So,
she weighs 7 rocks.
like, what size stones are we talking? Are we talking little stones or?
There you go.
But yeah, like Eliza is like way too like shy and embarrassed by everything right now to even say she wants to go somewhere else. So if Russ just goes back, like she goes back with him.
Eliza,
Yes.
is there ever a point at which you hide behind Russ from all the attention?
Yes. Everyone's
All right.
staring. It's very disconcerting. And Abe's not here.
If you do that right as you guys come out of the doctor/barber's tent, one of the guys faints. And no one seems to want to help him. They're just too busy taking you in. He's fine though. He's just there on the ground, sort of unconscious.
Eliza's very disturbed. Why are they all acting so strange?
Notice me, senpai.
Right.
Actually, too kawaii, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Great, I made someone faint, maybe?
Cut back to Antonio's feet. Little boots have finally come back out of a crate. Are you with me, Lisa?
I'm with you.
Cool. Another gentleman has come in up next to Daniel, and Daniel goes, "Evening, Joe," and Joe goes, "Evening, Daniel." And since the proximity, he sort of takes advantage of the situation and goes, "Good evening. My name is Joe." I can't read my own writing.
That's a very strange name.
I think
That's a very unusual name. Is it?
Right, it must be German.
Is it German?
Actually, it might be. Hold on.
My leg is cramping up. Oh, it's still... I think that's what happened in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have it written down. I'm sorry.
And somebody fainted.
Making people
Okay. Right. Okay. Joe Zumwalt, Zumwalt.
Close.
He says, Joe Zumwalt, man about town, not the resident of most distinction, Daniel, but figured as such, make my acquaintance as well. Who do we have the pleasure of hosting in our beautiful camp in the hills?
Big days and confused.
So are you giving him a southern twang?
Not intentionally.
Okay.
Slightly affected, but not southern, is what what we're shooting for.
I am Mrs. Philippa Sterling. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am here with my fellow, what do you call it?
Colleagues?
Wagon train goers.
He's like, excellent. So we surmised from the new arrival with Ebbett brought you in. Glad to see. I hope he got you all in all right.
Well, we got here.
Good. All those wagons, huh? Whew.
We're all still alive.
He nods at that and he's like, that's good to hear. I wonder if we could send some more over that pass. Sorry, just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll leave you to your business, ma'am, but it was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
And he kind of swats Daniel with his hat, and he's like, "See you later tonight." And Daniel's like, "Of course, same time."
Oh.
He leads himself out, and Antonio puts down a small sheaf of letters for you.
She picks them up and looks at them first.
They are all from your husband.
Aww.
Cloud fucking 9. This is all she needed. Hugs them and goes, "Thank you so much."
Aww.
And
just floats out.
Yeah, just flutters out.
He says, "Welcome, ma'am. My pleasure." And as you float out, you probably don't even notice the sea of men that part and drop their hats. As I'm guessing you're headed straight back towards the wagons?
Yep.
All right. Do you even wait to get back to the wagon, or do you do it proper and wait?
Oh, I wait. I'm humming. I'm not quite skipping, but there's a bounce in her step.
It's like
there's music about her.
It's like diametrically opposed to how Pippa was earlier.
Right.
Click.
So, Pip, you get back to the wagon, you seat yourself, you spread them out, prepared to devour them. Cut back to Russ and Eliza. As you sort of see that tent with that just mass of bodies, it suddenly parts like the Red Sea, and out comes Mrs. Sterling, hugging a small thing of papers to her bosom, humming, and you'd swear she was floating on the mud instead of tromping through it.
Oh, what must have happened?
Russ hasn't ever seen her happy, has he?
No, I don't think so.
No, you have.
Yeah, maybe before we went to bed.
When we first got there, she was all happy and, come to tea. Everything's lovely.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
And then she went, no.
Also, like that first day where she met the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We think you're crashing down.
You're right.
Yeah, no, he's seen her at emotional highs and lows, nothing in between.
So cute.
Not sure that she has any in-betweens.
So,
I mean,
worried over.
Like a pack of stray dogs following a toddler with a bag of chicharrones.
Get enough of that, Tony. You asked me.
The men just also sort of move as one behind her at a respectful distance. But like a few of them at the front of the pack are clearly like, it doesn't smell like a man. Oh.
At some point or another, Russ just kind of like, Eliza, let's go. And he kind of walks up next to Mrs. Sterling as she's walking away, as she's walking back towards camp. But Mrs. Sterling, would you like an escort back to camp?
I don't think she hears you.
Yeah, no, she's just.
That's he just decides to walk along with her back to.
I think she does. Oh yes, lovely, whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's very nice to see you so happy, Mrs. Sterling.
Yes, it's a lovely day, isn't it?
So you guys follow her back to camp, and okay.
The camp could be on fire. She has no idea.
It is, in fact, on fire.
No.
More fire right now.
I'm pretty sure Bill and Amelia are about to set the rest of the camp on fire. So
this camp is on fire.
And when these ladies come down.
So Pip.
Yes.
The letter. The letters are all exactly the same. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But they are written in his hand, and he does remember you and miss you and etc. It's all there.
So on and so forth.
So that's good.
Yeah.
You also notice there is one that is not from your husband. It is from, it simply says, Paul, Kansas City.
Oh, hey.
Slice that bad boy open.
Well, first from your husband, because I'm sure you read that first.
Yes, of course.
These are actually several letters that have been sent out to various points in the West. And effectively, they say that he is going to be on his way he is traveling with a Mr. Thomas to San Francisco to continue their business there instead of in Los Angeles.
All right.
It's a good thing you didn't mail those letters.
Right.
He won't be there.
All right.
We need the Ken Burns voice over for this part. My
This is what
dearest.
we realized.
So in short, you gather from sort of what he says in code that the new Prince of LA is to be someone by the name of Alexander Lee, and that your husband is going to be working with this guy named Vannevar Thomas, who will be sitting as the Prince of San Francisco, establishing the Camarillas' foothold in far northern Mexico, or now, the coast of the California.
So the LA Prince is Alexander Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and Vannevar Thomas is going to be the Prince of San Francisco.
Yes. You get the letter from Paul. Doesn't make a lot of sense initially. It's rambling, and it's written in strange gaps. there's something about the average price of cattle purchasing and waiting for the railroad to come in, even though the closest one is at St. Louis. It makes no sense at all.
What's happening to our boys?
Kind of turns it over front to back and
It does say, sincerely, Paul at the bottom.
just Paul.
Yeah, that's Hickory's boy, right?
And it is, or well, that's the only Paul you knew of in Kansas City. And it is a lot more words than you would expect from the son of Hickory.
Yeah. I smother my nose in all of my husband's letters, even though they're all the same. I know he touched them.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I put them in their box, and then I go find Abe.
You find him. He's probably whittling and smoking, enjoying time off from dad duty.
Abe has chopped a bunch of wood and is now seated and smoking. He does get up if he sees Pip coming out of bed.
Yeah, what did I get? Dinner at 5.
Mr. Murray,
Oh, Mrs. Sterling, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I've received a strange letter from Paul.
Oh, well, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm glad to hear from them, but strange, not so sure.
I can't make heads or tails of this. Maybe it's something you might be able to read?
Well, I'll try.
And hands it on over.
You see what she saw, where it's like, this is a lot more vocabulary than you thought either of them possessed. And it's about a lot of random, it really looks like, writing just to be writing about something. Make me a wits plus subterfuge.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 8.
I mean, I assume it's code for something.
So, do either of you have specialties in occult?
No.
Or vampire lore?
Negative.
Oh God, my roll for that would be really good.
Yeah.
Abe, do you have anything like that?
No.
I have a specialty in poetry.
Actually, you know what?
I got 5.
How hungry am I?
Oh, you got 5?
Yeah, on the.
What was the difficulty?
8.
I only got 1.
How many did John get?
5.
Okay, so Pip, you're like, there's code. It's got to be a code. I'm wondering, maybe it's like a crossword or something. And Abe looks at it, and he sort of like holds it sideways, and then licks the paper, and realizes there's blood in the ink, and it sort of activates his ability to read the blood words. And the words say, "A sudden tragedy has befallen our prince. You are once more welcome in KC. My sire sends his warmest regards."
So that's lovely, but I'm never going back there.
we went through way too much to get here.
That prince was a fucking dick.
Also that.
Sounds like he's dead, so.
I mean, the only people I liked there were Hickory and Paul, apparently.
A sudden tragedy.
Right. That sounds like murder to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's undeserved. Well, I mean,
he fell down an elevator shaft. onto some boats.
There were even elevators.
Yep.
It was a mine shaft. You know, where there's no mines.
Well,
Now the question is, you guys share this information with the rest of us.
is there a return address on this thing?
Yeah, the post office in Kansas City.
Where we left them.
Because I feel he would at least try to send some communication back, if only to not burn that bridge, because he's a champion of the Camarilla. So
Yes, we do love Hickory.
that's right.
I was about to say, Russ doesn't really care about Kansas City at all, but if he hears that Hickory has something to do with it, he naturally knows that guy.
Right.
Everybody knows it.
I'm curious to know who their new prince is, too.
I wonder if it's Hickory.
I know. That's what I want to know.
Write a letter and find out.
That's right.
But we'll probably.
Well, I would, but I don't know how to write this fancy code, so we're gonna have to ask somebody who might know.
What?
Oh, Miss Allen.
Yeah, Miss Allen would be my first pick.
Yeah.
How are you at writing code?
I don't tell you how am I writing code. We're about
How to write blood letters at all?
I could take a crack at it. I have
Because I don't.
in book knowledge, and then I have a specialty in Kindred Society.
I know that probably made me seem very smart in front of Mrs. Sterling, but I really just licked that paper on a hunch. I'm not sure I knew what I was doing.
I mean,
Totally fair.
So go ahead and roll me
Yeah.
int plus subterfuge.
Can I use my specialty?
And yes, we will count your 2 specialties.
Well, my specialty is in etiquette, so it wouldn't work for subterfuge.
Oh, the vampire one.
So we can do int plus subterfuge.
Do you have a specialty in occult?
Not yet, no. That's only up to 2 times.
Then no, just the int one.
So int plus subterfuge or just
Yep,
int?
int plus subterfuge.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
Difficulty 7
And I get 1 auto success on the thing?
from the specialty.
Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
You're very confident you could write the code back.
Yes, I believe I can be of assistance. This is fascinating. I have not seen anyone do this at all. I've only read books about this.
Paul's a clever boy.
That he is. So I'm assuming we are inquiring about the current current prince. Did you get it?
No.
Yes.
Basil got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost a dice, and I'm trying to make sure my cat doesn't eat it.
And
I don't know where it went.
uh-oh.
Poop a die, I'm gonna be pissed. Seriously, don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Basil.
Basil's being naughty.
Gross. Anyways, sorry. As I was saying, Hannah assumes that you want to write a letter asking who the new prince is.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
do you want to know what happened to the old prince? What do you want the letter to say?
Yeah. I think I would also send our thanks for the communications, and that while we don't really have any plans regarding traveling back east, we're thankful that we can still count them amongst our allies.
Funny enough, you are thankful that you kept some of Fred's more esoteric writing implements, as this comes in very handy for that.
Just don't worry about where those quill bones came from.
Right? So yeah, Hannah, I'm assuming like Hannah like pricks her finger and is all like, okay, here's where the secret note goes.
No, you gotta spend a blood point.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a blood point. Be like, here's where the secret note goes. And Abe, could you give me something to write about where it refers to the cattle prices here and something miscellaneous?
Absolutely. Abe basically goes into a dissertation on like trading prices and the fur trade.
Hannah cocks whatever eyebrows and just like does her best to like. So I don't know because it's so far away.
No, it's
Okay, we can hear you just fine.
Hannah cocks whatever eyebrows and like sort of like summarizes what he says. So that's why it's not like 5 pages long. It's like 2 pages long.
Yeah.
And then hands it back to Mrs. Sterling and is like, I'm sorry, I actually have no interest in going to town at this moment. So you guys, someone else can deliver this to be delivered.
Well, I have to go back to the post tomorrow anyway. Oh no, I have to go back today. Ugh. I have to change the address.
Here's your letter. Glad I could help.
Thank you, Miss Allen. Thank you, Mr. Murray.
Well, I'm glad to be of assistance.
Same.
Abe's like, you know, I'm finally glad I could tell someone about the differences between, you know, the exchange on a beaver pelt between here and there.
That's right. Supply and demand in the old world has gone low.
Pip grabs one of her new letters and goes back to the post to give the new address.
There is an army of men waiting outside camp.
Like, are they
Yeah. It's like
They didn't know you were going to be back, but they were really, really hoping.
You're like, you know, or it's like standing outside the fence at the White House. You just stare in and you're like, in there's where it is. We're not going to see it. They might not even be in there, but this is where it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, you know, Willy
Lo and
Wonka
behold.
and they all just, you know, step back and very respectful, but still obviously gawking and part ways if she heads in any direction towards them. You know, they don't want to impede her. They don't want to spook her.
But she's a horse or something like that.
Like at the zoo.
I mean, she was humming, guys. Full of love and elation.
There's the way to go into town.
Yeah.
Who's going to town?
What was that?
Bill and Delia, they've been supposed to be going to town like for the past hour.
Oh my God. I did not hear it at all. I'm sorry. All right. So yeah, let me hop back to that then. Sorry guys, I just got it. I turned it on silent because I didn't want it ponging. Let me turn it up to vibrate.
Okay.
Oh, is there?
I know. I sent him.
Oh.
Okay. So Bill and Delia are heading into camp.
Heading out of camp?
No, to the town, whatever the fuck it is.
They're heading into Diggins.
Oh, Sasha.
So yeah, would Bill and Delia have left shortly after Pip, or before or after Pip got back?
I think, well, because I was in the bathroom when you guys got there, and I think Jaren said that Bill would be going in to find if there were anybody
Playing cards, yeah,
or like
doing games.
a saloon type of establishment.
Oh,
Probably would have gone in
Beer tent.
Beer tent, yeah.
with everybody else. Or I think probably, because I think Philippa went down there first, and she would have gone at about the same time that Russ and Eliza went.
Actually, yes. Delia, it takes you guys a while to get into town because Delia is putting her war gear on.
She's been in trail gear for a while.
Yeah, she's fully loaded and ready for a rumble, so to speak.
As we're heading back.
Necessary. She's like, Bill, pull the stays harder. I know you're strong.
Jesus, Delia. Honestly.
She's like, you know my motto. If it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. I don't know what you're getting dressed up for, though.
For the men.
Oh God. Someone else about to be pregnant in this camp.
Maybe she has a French letter.
So after the several minutes it takes for her to get organized, you guys march into camp like you got business to tend to. And you see that there's quite a pack starting to assemble over by a larger tent with a bunch of supplies near it. There's another smaller like cell over by another tent with a little white and red rags hanging off a pole. And then you Bill, your supernatural sense for this, you hear a splat of a man falling face first into mud. Over by another tent that's large and has some music coming from out of it. And almost as if it were a signpost, the man that you heard splat down in the mud out front of it.
I think that's where we need to go, Delia.
Delia's like, like she's past you already. Like she.
Like, why not just seem so eager?
She's like, whatever.
Oh, honey, I don't gotta try very hard right now.
And so, as you guys get closer to this tent, you realize there are 3 other tents, like triangled off of it, sort of making a compound. And you see one guy leaned up against the post for the entry tent, sort of like cuddling a bottle of something, and he looks at both of you and sort of just holds up the bottle and watches you both enter the and as soon as you enter the tent, there's smoke and there's chips hitting tables and there's gold pieces being dropped around. There's dudes playing fiddles and mouth harps and there's obviously drinks all over the place. But as soon as the 2 of you walk in, it all stops.
Record scratch.
Yeah, you audibly hear a record scratch.
Like in a wave through the tent into the other tents that you see are connected. And there's just silence and stillness. And you say evening?
Yeah.
They all slowly take off their hats. You can tell who's more inebriated than others by how slow the hat comes off.
Is anyone slack-jawed and drooling?
Yes.
So
right after you say evening, Delia goes, "Wah-ha!" and like jumps in the first lap that's even vaguely open.
Oh God, that hard-on's gonna go right through her dress.
It's gonna snap it in 2. It's gonna be terrible. And she picks up the bottle and is like, "Who's playing my hand for me?" And like they all just like jump to help and assist, and she's got like a small pool of things in front of her, and there's another like sudden shift of manatee that sort of slides up to the side of the tent next to you, and there's equal offers of drinks and satchels and like smokes and
Thank you, boys. I'm all right. And she just sort of looks at Delia and like rolls her eyes.
it is still almost silent except for the rustling of offers to her and her giggling the whole time.
You can keep Any of you boys play cards?
Oh my god. I'm just gonna
Well, there was just a
are there nosebleeds? Is this happened yet?
What did you say, Tony?
Several decks appear in their hands. Like instead of bottles, it's now decks of cards.
Like, all right, we only need the one, so I got it. Who wants to play?
Every hand in the house goes up that isn't immediately dealing with Delia.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm gonna close my eyes and point. I only need 4. Okay? Or, we could fight.
So, like, instantly people are grabbed. Like people start like.
I was kidding. Oh my god, no. We're fine.
Like there's a fist to a cheek, like about when you say no.
Like, okay, you 3 and you. Come here.
There's a collective. Oh.
You'll get your turn. It can be a championship, okay?
Man, you've got accounts full of really
championship. The tables sort of arrange themselves in a feed order.
perfect.
And a table is brought to you with the nicest stump in the place. And the 3 ordained individuals like sit down, straight backed, various attempts to sober up, and you get down to making more money that night than most of them have made on these diggings the entire time they've been there.
Man, that almost seems cruel, but
So go ahead and give Delia a temporary dot in resources. And are you gonna go hog wild on these poor suckers, or are you actually gonna play straight, or what?
The temptation is to just take them for everything they've got, but it almost feels mean.
Yeah.
So she tries to hold back a little bit. She can't entirely help it. She's just really good at cards.
Yeah.
But she does at least attempt to, let someone else win sometimes. Because she just kind of feels bad.
The first time someone wins that isn't you, they apologize.
wow.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. That's how the game works. You're fine. Yeah, take it. You want it. Go ahead. It's fine.
A bunch of drinks show up for you shortly thereafter.
She tosses them back.
Yeah.
No, I don't. She's just going to do it because...
I'm going to puke them up later.
Yep.
Go ahead and make me a manipulation plus, what did we say was straight up card? Was that subterfuge for bluffing because cards?
I think so. Because I have subterfuge and then I have larceny, but that's more of what I use when I'm actually
swindling,
which I'm not trying to do right now.
Yeah, give me manipulation plus subterfuge for your card playing, Difficulty
come.
6.
What?
Come.
Oh, she's talking to.
Yeah.
I thought I muted it.
Difficulty 6.
Did I not mute it?
No.
Damn it.
5.
Sorry, guys.
5 successes. So you get 3 temporary resource drops.
Jesus.
I'm swimming.
Send over here.
Yeah, you are.
You are offered several mules to help you carry your winnings home.
Perfect.
And some of them might have just only had a mule left, and they were just like, "Can you take this in lieu of payment?"
There is a Shetland pony offered up, which will do more than well enough for your winnings.
I only need the one. It's all right. Thank you.
Its name is Little Sebastian.
Shetland pony named Sebastian.
No.
That's adorable.
Well, Sebastian. Aw.
That's what you should make your ghoul.
What, little Sebastian?
Tony.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel like Tony would still find a way to make it sad.
Oh, wait. If you make something a ghoul, it's going to get consumption, isn't it?
Or something.
Really.
Oh, okay.
Can a horse contract consumption?
That's a good point. I don't know.
No, it's the way it works according to the book is that if I fight another kindred, they have like a 1 in something chance of getting what I have.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly just that if I don't keep up my blood pool and spend the right amount of blood points, and I manifest the symptoms of the thing that I have.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you and Delia have a grand old time. You guys clean up. Let's see here. You meet a lot of people that night, Bill. But let's see here. A couple people of note include a Mr. Joe Zumwalt, who introduces himself briefly as someone about town. You think he's the mayor or something. I don't know. You hear about another woman in camp, as well as a little girl. Apparently, there's an infestation of you.
Oh yeah, I know them.
And one of them goes, "You know the daughter of the chief?"
Sure.
Why not?
That's what she is. That's exactly who that is. I know her.
And then one of them goes, Joe.
Is that a thing?
She knows Dina. And this redheaded gentleman comes over and he goes, You know Dina?
Yes.
Totally. All women know.
Believe anything you say right now.
That is super not who I thought they were talking about, but yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. Me and Dina go way back.
He's like, are you friends? Are you like part of the tribe?
Yes. Bill is like, oh shit. Yes.
He cocks his head and he's like, when? Okay, yeah, sure, part of the tribe, yeah. He doesn't believe you.
I am part of a tribe because we were the new tribe when they gave us the orb and whatnot.
No, it's true. Yeah, actually.
So you know.
He goes. Did you meet her up in Sonora, or maybe?
Yeah, up in Sonora. That sounds about right. I have several dots in like subterfuge, streetwise manipulation.
You guys, sounds like a bluff roll needs to happen.
Oh, you actually want to convince him that you're best friends with Dina and part of her tribe?
No, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck he's talking about. I'm just agreeing.
Okay. Well,
I would like to know who Dina is. So
I would totally do it for Shiggles, though.
so does that mean you're trying to get more information about Dina?
well, basically, I thought he was talking about Lazarus and because they said a man and a little girl, so I thought he was talking about Lazarus and Eliza. So I said, yeah, I know them. And then they're like, oh, you know Dina, which is that and she panicked and just said yes. And so now she's going with it.
How do you know there wasn't another personality? I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, like, yeah, sure, I know Dina. Yeah, like, wait, oh shit, no, they're not the same person.
And that's exactly what's happening now is that apparently someone was not talking specifically about the three people you do know who were the topic of conversation previously.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's this other woman somewhere named Dina who Joe knows as well, apparently, but not. Oh, they're two different Joes. Oh, no, sorry. All right.
I hear one of them is the Duke.
Fucking name.
Why is the Duke following us into the new world?
All right.
Duke is not bound to a single setting.
So you meet the guy named Joe Zoomwalt, who sort of excuses himself. The conversation you're now having about Dina is with John.
Okay.
You only know his name, John, so far. And he sort of chuckles it off, but he's like, oh, great. You know, do you spend much time with the tribe, or are you just a prospector out here, or what?
Oh yeah, we ran into them, but we're just, we're following we're coming down the mountain, we're following the gold and whatnot. So,
Oh, great. If you see her again, or even her dad, maybe put a good word in for John Murphy.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Why not?
Well, yeah, sure.
He's like, you're good people.
Thank you. I try.
He laughs.
Like as soon as he walks away, she's like, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess that happened.
So yeah, he goes back to his drink with his friends. He splashes a lot of cash around. You've noticed. You don't end up playing cards with him though. But you do good otherwise. So yeah, so that's that. And that. That's good there. Yeah, great. Cool. Any other business you or Delia want to engage in before you head out with little Sebastian?
I mean, I think Bill is a little turned off by
all the attention.
It is really creepy.
It though, so I think at some point Bill has to go peel Delia off somebody. Like, I can't leave you here by yourself. Come on,
chisel her off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peel others off of him. Her, I mean.
She actually disengages with you fairly easily. Like, even though there's a lot of attention, there is a strange hive mind of don't spook them.
So sad.
They may never come back.
If you fuck up, they'll go away.
To be in the same vicinity as a woman.
Very much so. And yeah, as you guys are walking back, she cannot get over how adorable little Sebastian is. She's pretty drunk. Right at that edge of being too annoying drunk. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm sorry, Bill. I don't know. It's been a while. I am tired.
It's been a minute.
So tired.
Do you want to ride on Sebastian?
No. I'm sure it'll hurt him because of my fat ass.
Oh, honey. Hats.
You're like, if it was just her and not all of her gear, the horse could probably handle it, but it's carrying your winnings plus all of her.
Yeah.
She could probably use the walk.
You want to ride on Sebastian? Well, yeah, but you said we had to. Oh, you're talking about the horse. So cool. So that's going there. And remember.
Indeed.
Anyone else want to engage in any shenanigans for that night?
I'd like to
change addresses.
Shenanigans.
And everyone talked all at once. My bad.
As soon as Bill gets back to camp, she and just ashes out all the alcohol she just drank.
Gross. Delia goes, lucky.
You see this black cloud behind the cart moving into the air.
No.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Delia keeps turning around and waving at the pack that follows you, and it merges with Pip's pack.
Oh, she left now.
There have been.
Are they gonna create like the one like giant man when they all meld together
in a trench coat?
No, it's weird. I don't want it. No.
No, actually, at this point, a veritable picket line has been made. There's like smaller campfires, and like people have like brought up stumps, and they're all just there staring into the camp.
Hannah finally emerges from her wagon and steps outside.
If it's within sight of this assemblage, all of them stand up immediately. Hats off.
Hannah's eyebrow goes up really tall.
Blown away.
Glares at them and says, "Don't you have something better to do? Like pan for gold?
Bathe, maybe?"
There's all kinds of confused looks. And one gentleman with a fairly well done mustache and a close cropped beard. He leans forward, sort of. He seems to be the charismatic one of the group. He's like, no man.
Hannah does her smile where it's like the terrifying smile. Like
a few of them step back and
she goes, I suggest you find somewhere else to go.
At least one person is super turned on right now.
Like, yeah, somebody's very aroused right now.
I would like that lady to say bad things to me. That make me feel like a bad person.
A small group sort of break off like they are in the most trouble. Like their full names got used. But now there's just a pack of them who aren't looking directly at you, but are still still there.
And she lets out air.
You know, when we leave, these guys are gonna weep for a week straight. Like this. They're gonna be like, this may never happen again.
2 dots for intimidation. I don't think I have enough for this. She just sort of snarls, and it's really not pretty.
It's like what's it? What? How can I describe this? It's like it's like shaking out a vacuum filter with a shit ton of dust on it.
Mm-hmm.
Your first salvo got a good chunk of dust off.
Mm-hmm.
The next couple hits, it just you know, more dust, but no, it's on there real good. There's still a solid pack.
Okay. And it just sort of pivots and walks away without like any politeness.
Mhm.
At our camp? Is that what's happening?
What happened?
Are they actually at our camp?
They're not in the camp.
They're like
Close enough.
a perimeter.
They're like across the street.
So like a
Distance.
popular boy band is visiting a hotel. And there's a mob full of teenagers outside being like, "Oh my god!"
Yes.
That is really weird. Those people have not seen the other sex for a long time.
I think they've been dealing with whatever ways they need to.
Yes. So if no one else has any more fun that evening,
Nope.
I get my addresses changed.
sorry, yes. So if you move back out into the town proper, you pass Mrs. Allen, who is just letting off anime fumes, and you see that the troop that followed you in has now dwindled considerably, but has established a picket line, and almost as if there was a bell rung or something, when you move out of the camp, it reforms and sort of creates a thoroughfare for you to move wherever you need to be. And there always seems to be like planks of wood or stones or something in particularly muddy areas wherever you're headed.
It's lovely.
Kind of, I don't know. It's pathetic and adorable. I don't know. And scary.
I mean, Pip is used to drawing a crowd and entertaining. This is nothing new to her.
So you head back in, and Antonio's still there. And he's like,
I'm gonna pause you guys really quick. Is the sound really flickery and wavery for anybody else other than me?
I mean, it is now and then, but not consistently.
Consistently the last like 5 minutes it has been for me.
Yeah, it's probably connection stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave the call real quick and hop back in.
all right. Did anyone else have something they wanted to try last minute?
All right, now that Lisa's here, we can talk about her.
Wow.
Rude.
No, I had nothing.
I'm wearing my earbuds and it was doing the bouncing back and forth thing, and I'm like, I can't.
That sucks.
Yeah. Okay. So much better. Pip goes in, sees him. She goes, I need to fix the address on those.
And he goes, on all of them or just the chest?
The chest.
Okay, yeah, that we can do. And he slaps down some parchment, and he pulls up some ink and a quill and that sort of thing. And he's like, okay, ¿dónde vas? Where is it going?
Oh, Spanish.
Pip writes down the new address and then says, I also need this posted. And this doesn't matter when it goes out. And hands him the new letter.
Oh, and he goes, okay, this is, covered under the rest. It's fine.
Okay.
Wait, their letter was the one that was at Anna?
So I had to fix the letters from going to LA to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then I had the new letter that's written to Paul.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Our cat's amazing.
Try not to. Sorry?
Are the cats being fun?
Yeah, Basil was underneath. So Bella's in a chair over here.
Mm-hmm.
And Basil was under it, and she like got up from sleeping, and it was just that really slow stretch thing. And so just JC just kept laughing at it, and then she kept glaring down at Basil, and now she's glaring at her. So because Bella's really good at glaring, and that's why she's my favorite.
Rude. You're not supposed to have favorites.
No, I kind of do. They're not humans. It's fine.
Looks around and judges the crowd.
Yeah.
Fuck. Sorry. You were the worst. She pointed at me, and Bella looked at me, and so I pointed back at her, and Bella looked back at her, and that's why I was like, "You're fucking terrible!" Right as you said the thing, and I didn't hear
That's
you.
fine.
I'm sorry.
I understand. Pip turns around and judges the crowd. Like, is it a big crowd? Is it normal?
Like she's just like being judgmental at them. Like, I judge you.
She's trying to gauge how big of a crowd there is.
If you step outside of the tent, there is a good couple dozen dudes just waiting there, just happy to be sharing the same air.
No, but in the tent, what's going on in the tent?
There's no one in the tent.
Okay.
Oh, they left?
Yeah, apparently no one's got business at this hour. Yeah, I mean, it is terribly late, but considering how many people are out and about this evening, it's it's odd that none are in here.
Yeah.
They all
Okay.
staring at us.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently, you're the DM. Are they or are they not?
Hey, bro, I just work here. I don't know. You gotta know something? You gotta be like, hey, I want to know something, and I'll tell you how to adjudicate that.
Don't make me look over your DM screen.
I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense.
Anything written there?
You know that my notes are indecipherable even to myself. So,
You know that I've been married to you long enough that I could figure that shit out.
What do you want to know?
Notes.
Okay.
Me?
It's like the Ark of the Covenant back there. Like once you look, your character dies.
So Lisa, so yeah, are you going to do anything about this nearly empty room, or?
No, I assumed everyone was inside. So now that I know that they're outside, that's different. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and see my couple dozen. I'm like, okay, easy enough to handle. And she walks on back.
Yep,
if she had a enclosed space and a bunch of people, she would have been like, do you mind if I sing a little while? But since it's all out in the street, she's not going to do it on the street. Yeah.
Oh, they're lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wend your way back along this strange little trail that has appeared in the town, with your entourage as it is. And you make it back to camp just fine. Vampires go to sleep. Vampires wake up. You lose your blood points. You gain a willpower back if you need it. Russ, Joseph has shows up that evening with the goods for Annie.
Oh, fantastic.
And a small like vial of hard candy. He says, he goes, this is for your daughter?
He just kind of yes, I'll make sure she gets it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
He just kind of like goes, he takes his stuff and just kind of goes back to the cart where Annie's at, and starts administering doses of things. Basically, just taking care of her because they're running lower on meds than they normally were.
I want to eat one of the men.
I want to eat this person.
Holy shit.
What? Did you fuck up? What? Oh boy.
don't like it.
Neither do I. He either really fucked up or he really didn't, is just amused by himself. It's kind of hard to tell.
Too late now.
Oh, man. Wow, you really fucked up.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. How do I go about sneakily eating a person?
Eating.
Dirty of you.
You're gonna have to be sneaky.
Yeah, that's what I said. How do I go about sneakily doing this?
Sneakily deekly.
Yeah.
Well, poor boy is so fucking amped up.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost time to call it.
A random person, Mrs. Sterling would like to talk with them in her private quarters, and you'll just have anybody follow you want.
You have the whole camp.
I mean, it's true, but
None of them know which one of you is Mrs. Sterling.
also
Yeah.
true.
Honestly, Hannah's also a lady. I mean, I'm not sure it makes much of a difference for them.
Right.
Well, she was angry and mean last night.
Yeah, at least,
But there were a couple of those fuckers that stayed around.
Yeah, so those weird ones that got hot because you were angry.
Yeah, she's got that governess bun.
It's drawn up tight.
Yes.
Just like the eyebrows.
Wow.
Yeah, she got that scalp stretch.
Yeah, basically.
Here's a bouquet of riding crops.
Like the eyebrows already this high, the eyebrow goes up even higher. You're like, I didn't know that was possible.
Give me a Dex plus stealth.
For your eyebrows?
Yes.
Delia has you cinch the course later.
but we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like Delia's thing is she has you cinch the course.
Whoa,
Went
that
to sleep.
was interesting.
7.
There it goes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hmm? Oh.
One success.
How bad do you want it?
Can
Willpower.
I spend a willpower?
Hell yeah.
All right, I'll spend a willpower.
Please.
Rude. All right, I spend a willpower for now 2 successes.
All right. So you edge around the camp,
Mm-hmm.
and you manage to find some lone grizzled prospector
Mhm.
upstream a bit,
Uh-huh.
up creek, and you find him there working on a spit, and you come out of the shadows and you get up right up on him and you get your teeth in him,
Yeah.
and probably the best night of his life.
Yeah, I only take the 2 blood points that I need. I'm not like going crazy here. But I'm not gonna fix him.
He just kind of sits there stunned as you make your way back out into the night.
Okay.
Maybe the same-
Real confused boner now.
Right.
What was it? Dex and stealth?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stealth.
She's introducing a whole lot of these people to their new fetishes.
I don't know what to do with any of this.
I know.
Said
This
7.
one's in blood play.
1, 2, 3. 2.
Which is fine.
Okay. Go back the same way I came. No one really notices.
Your foray is spoken among the camp like Bigfoot.
Okay.
A friend of a friend saw it.
No one believes it.
No one can prove it.
And no one can prove it. No one believes him. Like, yeah, right.
It's just
Not that
one
big.
blurry photograph.
Yeah. Everyone thinks he just picked his mosquito scabs too hard. It's so it's good.
All right. New day.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's dead.
So that next night, as you sort of wander back from your excursion, some of the tents have now moved the back of that picket line.
Jeez.
Yes. And Lou comes into camp with 3 familiar faces. Joe, John, and Daniel. Some of whom you've all met thus far. And for whomever wishes to be present for the introductions, Lou sort of gestures.
I mean, Tasha's bored, so probably.
Yeah.
Hannah's present.
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone in camp. I'm in a good mood. Let's go.
Abe is in the periphery.
Hannah
Yeah,
is
right.
present with her
Not visible.
resting bitch face on.
I think everybody's there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Seems like it.
Lou sort of like, evening. These gentlemen here came wondering how long we were gonna be in town, considering the effect on the citizenry, just to get an idea.
What effect?
You know,
What are they talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Tell you when you're older.
Yeah.
That is the stock reaction to that.
Will.
That she said no. She says,
Oh, yeah.
no, it's Pat.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that in a minute.
Yeah.
So is it about sex?
Again, tell you when you're older.
Silence. Yeah.
Yes.
Pip looks so affronted.
Quiet now. The grown-ups are talking.
Hey, sits on
I
a
do
stump.
apologize, gentlemen.
they're like, oh well, that wouldn't be the coarsest language we've heard as of late. So it's not a problem.
Hannah's resting bitch face goes into the slightest frown. Like it's just starting.
She slowly turns into a sturgeon.
Full frown yet.
No, by the end of this evening,
Yeah, probably.
here she went full sturgeon. Oh shit. So yeah, Lou's like, I told the gentleman, we might be packing up tonight, tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure we had a discussion with y'all as the heads of the party, to confirm.
I mean, that sounds fair.
Russ comments that, well, I mean, I don't see any particular reason that we'd be staying for all very long. Any of you got any sort of business we need to take care of around here?
Nah.
I have to go check the post again, but otherwise, as long as we're restocked, I don't see any reason why we're going to stay along.
What's it call it? The redhead you hadn't met, Pip.
There's 2 redheads?
Yes.
Okay. I met
They're
a
brothers.
redhead and a John.
You met a redhead named Daniel, and you met a Joe. Joe's the larger gentleman.
Oh, that's correct, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you say something about the post, the one that you had not met, who's probably the brother, goes, "Oh, you're San Francisco."
I am not San Francisco, but I do have post going to San Francisco.
Oh, he goes. Oh, apologies, ma'am. No, yes. I'm about to head out there
She'll get mad.
this week, and your post is going to come with me. I'll be delivering it into town.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm engaged, and after the marriage, that's going to kind of be our honeymoon, is heading down to the big city and cashing in.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, I'm actually on my way to meet my husband. He's in San Francisco as well.
Well, isn't that amazing? Small world.
I would like to point out that I was also heading to San Francisco, first. Not for any relationship purposes. I'm going there to make money. So
the same guy looks over at you, Bill. He goes, "Aren't you coming with Dina?"
Delia? Oh, Dina.
yeah,
Dina.
I am in fact coming with Dina.
We all just kind of look over at you.
Yeah, so like Hannah slowly turns her head towards
I beg your pardon, who is Dina?
Yeah, Don goes, "Dina's my intended. She's best friends with her. She knows the tribe."
Okay, first of all, I never said any of that. They're like, yeah, you guys remember Dina, don't you?
Russ is not
I'm really sorry, I don't believe I do.
Extra loud. I don't get it.
I believe her name is Delia, Bill.
That's fucking me on this.
Like, God damn it. Internal screaming.
Hannah just looks at Bill and is like, I don't know, I get really excited. I'm sorry. Hannah looks at Bill and is like, yes, Dina, I remember her.
Yeah, we met her in Sonora.
You got a 1,000-yard long look from John. How did you meet Dina?
She's best friends with Bill.
Then this, and it's just like,
Fucking
really?
This is just gonna keep on going. The lies never stop, and then you're just gonna have to go with it.
Pip is just like, no, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's Delia.
And then Dina's gonna show up and we're gonna steam her gas.
What was that, Megan?
Oh, I was saying, like, I don't even think Bill knows why she's decided to keep this lie up. What's happening? She's like, no, I've come too far.
That's how it goes.
This is my life now.
But yeah, so while Daniel's doing this at his brother, Joe, the larger gentleman, has found great interest in a treetop elsewhere while chuckling quietly at what is apparently a cacophony of goofiness. So after it all sort of gets awkwardly quiet, like there's an awkward pause in the middle of everyone like, huh.
Adults are
Joe
being
realizes, what was that?
Adults are being funny.
Yeah, they are.
Joe takes that as his cue to rejoin the conversation. Goes, well, yes, be that as it may. Thank you for letting us know when we might return to our previous state, though we welcome it wholly that you guys are here and want to be sure you are welcome. We were just curious as to how long we could enjoy the presence of the gentler sex.
I think all three of us just crack a smile like,
I don't think any of the women in this party could be described as gentle.
No, which is why it's hilarious that he said that.
Genteel, maybe, but not gentle. We've seen how you treat Chloe.
Lots of wind up.
that bitch.
I think the closest we get is one of Sally's personalities.
Yeah,
Basically.
just one. So does that mean I don't have to check on the post then?
John goes, no, it's coming with me. It's as safe as I can be, and it's not too far to San Francisco, so it'll be just fine. It'll get there.
Okay. Well, the hope is it will get there before me.
Oh, well. And him and Daniel kind of look at each other, and Joe also sort of looks in. He's like trying to do the math. He goes, well, the wedding's in a couple days, and then we're headed out. But we're going down by mule and horse. So probably even with you guys with a couple days head start, we'll probably pass you along the way and get out there at least a day or two before you.
All right. Okay.
If you'd rather not, we can bring you the box back out here so you can hang on to it and give them to yourself.
No. We'll see how it fares.
All right.
I've waited this long.
And so at the sort of dip in the conversation, they're like, well, again, thank you for gracing our diggings with your presence, and we will enjoy it while it lasts. So thank you much. As before, anything at all, please do avail yourselves of us.
Pip waits a beat. Nobody says anything. Do you have a music hall?
There's various stages of head nods and head shakes, and I don't know between the three of them. And John goes, "Why, yes, Bill was there last evening."
Oh.
Yeah, except they weren't playing any music when I was there.
They did start up after.
Rhea Perlman. Rhea.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Everything's fine.
I think our cat recognized that tone because I saw Bella look up at the.
I've done nothing.
Hannah turns to Pip and is all like, I see our mood has much improved.
Cuts an eye for like half a second and goes, yes, our mood is wonderful at the moment. Thank you. I would like to carry it on.
The frown starts to turn upwards into a smile. It goes back to resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Which
Thank
is
you.
Hannah
Yes,
internally laughing.
Your concern.
Anyone who wants.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you just want what?
I just thought it would be kind, since everyone was so kind to us, that I offer a little bit of entertainment.
There she is.
Hannah shoots up her second eyebrow, so now both are raised, and she's like, "Okay."
There they go again.
Yep.
Off into the cosmos.
Did we catch them?
Have a
Anyone
butterfly net.
to make a perception plus occult roll?
Uh-oh. I think I know it.
Difficulty of 10.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Everybody?
Whoever
Anyone
wants.
wants to.
Oh, this was too? This was
I
amazing.
rolled 4 9s.
Wow.
Oh well.
So close.
It was a long shot, but I want to give it. I want to give the opportunity.
Perception. I can't use my medium or concentration as a...
Oh shit, he got 2.
Well, let me reroll this.
Go Lazarus.
Yeah, Russ got 2.
No, but I...
roll those two.
Okay, so I've got 1 though.
So you get
Okay.
1.
All right. 1.
All right.
Fuck! 1.
2.
So
Darren had
1,
2.
2, and did who's Estrella? Who the hell are you tonight?
Me? Oh, I'm Tasha.
Tasha, did you get any? Did you share?
No, I botched.
Okay. These men are obviously married to each other. John, how many? Did you get any?
He has a beard.
None.
Okay.
Abe is still crouched behind one of the wagons, waiting for people to leave.
Oh.
So Hannah, you get the suspicion. So your eyebrows come back
Yes.
and reassert themselves.
They come back with information.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so weird. It's some weird
Are
familiar.
in cahoots.
Yes.
Now
And
they're
Russ-
antennae.
What do I smell?
You smell good, yeah. They all smell of the same type of smoke, but it ain't like normal camp smoke, and it isn't like they share the same type of tobacco smoke. There's something else there that the three of them sort of have as a link. And like the closest you can connect it in your brain is like the sensor from when you used to go to church.
Okay.
Because they talked about it. Bill knows this.
Are we?
She hasn't told anybody yet, though.
Huh? Are we dealing with more Mormons?
Oh, God.
Are these Catholics?
Are you saying this in front of them?
No. I'm just,
A lot of character.
He's into this.
I don't know.
Hannah,
So if you or do you wish to speak to them any further with this in mind?
wait, hold on. Hold on.
Once they leave, if you bring
You know
it
what?
up, tell you.
Yeah. Yep. Russ. He at the very least he sniffs it and just kind of leaves it be once he understands what he's smelling, and decide he's going to bring it up to everybody after the fact.
Hannah. Okay. Hannah just sort of leans in a little bit. Like
well, you don't smell anything. You
No.
just know that they're up to something.
It is. That's why she leans in a little bit and just stares intently at one face and then the other, like she's trying to memorize it, and then just backs up again.
So as you do that, and sort of this discussion of the music hall sort of comes to an end, they pretty much tell you, Pip, that yeah, you're welcome there anytime through the day, morning, night, whenever. You know, you're more than welcome. Perhaps have someone let them know a little before ahead time so that they can accommodate, as there will likely be quite a showing.
Okay.
And once that's concluded, they excuse themselves and walk out of camp. And actually, just for shiggles, let me see here. Nope. Okay. Yeah, they make their way out of camp and move through the picket line out of sight.
Well, that was pleasant.
Yeah. I don't. Anybody notice something weird about the three of them?
Hannah looks over at them. She's like, yes, but I can't put my finger on it. I feel like they're up to something, but I don't know what.
I don't know about up to something, but they all smelled the same. They all had
Everyone.
but it was they all smelled different in the same way. Like they were all smoking the same pipe weed, but didn't have. It's not the same. I'm putting this across poorly.
Yes.
They all smelled like it smelled like last time I went to church.
Oh.
They smell like a church.
It's kind of, like the smoke that comes out of that thing. Priests are all like waving around.
Hannah makes a face and is like, yeah.
Catholic.
Only people who are Catholic would know, but yes.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I feel like Hannah is well enough read and came from a decent enough upbringing that she might
but
understand.
Russ wouldn't have been Catholic, so I don't know
Okay.
if he had that.
I would have been. That's true. Let's go with that. Hang on a second.
Well, actually, you know what, Russ? It would remind you of when you were a kid, and they would burn certain woods or herbs.
Okay, I got you.
Rituals.
Yeah. Okay, no, I got you. Yeah,
Good save.
it triggers. It's a scent that triggers a one of his fractured memories because he still doesn't remember a ton of that stuff. But
Yep.
So he said, says, yeah, when I was a little youngin', before, like well before me and my brothers hit the change, I remember my daddy and mama had some folks come in that they put on furs. I think they called them something, but they're like a sort of like a priest or like a pastor, but they didn't dress like the normal ones that we have out here. And oh, that's right. Mama was pregnant with my little sister, and they came in and they burnt some stuff and like waved it over her to try and do something. I'm not really sure. It seemed kind of like when we go to sit at the church and we'd pray and do all that stuff. But it seemed kind of similar. Or when Daddy would bless the meal before we had it, or when Pa had blessed the meal before we had it. It's like that. It's like that smell. It's all connected somehow, but I don't really know.
So this Dina that we apparently know, it's apparently part of a tribe, they were saying. So I don't know if that's connected or not, but
I looked at Bill. I was like, yes, please tell us about your best friend Dina.
Honestly, I can't tell you anything about Dina because
obviously
when it came up, I thought they were talking about little one here and big one here, but apparently there was another woman with the man, and the man is the chief, and she's the daughter of the chief, and they're part of a tribe.
It was the woman with the man, and the man is a chief.
Hannah looks at her, she's like, are you think to correct yourself?
You know what? It's in the past. There's nothing that can be done about it now.
Yeah. Tony, did all three of the dudes that came in, were they all white dudes? Did they look like they were Native American? Did they look like they were other ethnicities?
Oh, they were all white dudes. John and Daniel Murphy are blatantly Irish.
Okay.
Joe, though, probably German, Austrian, Prussian, pretty good English though, so probably not a first gen.
They didn't trigger any other memories from me at all, did they?
Not for you specifically, no. But having discussed that amongst yourselves, I will give you guys another chance for int plus occult at a difficulty of. Let me go with 7.
Three.
0. I got 2.
2, 2, 3, 0.
1.
All right. They're part of a cult or an order or, some sort of like secret society of some sort.
You were asking me about earlier now. Okay, anyway.
I'm not opening my Auspex on them again.
Right.
My eyes have been burned. Shit, yeah, I am.
With the 3 successes, you're not sure, but you know that there are a few. You know that there might be a few odd
Fellows? Just kidding.
No, which was why I checked. No, but you know that there might be any number of august orders from the East Coast that have moved out here with all the expansion, or even some that have come over via Spain. So you got a bunch of names in your head, but none of them fit.
Yeah. Oh well, that's interesting.
Well, if they do come with us, then we're going to need to keep a fellow eye on them because.
Well, they're not coming with us. They're going.
Oh, they're going separate. Okay.
They said they'd pass us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And only the one is going. Because it's his.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
honeymoon
Okay.
With his Indian bride.
Or something.
Well, his chieftain's daughter's bride.
Yeah, his daughter bride.
Huh. I don't really know what to make of this, other than
As long as he's not the Grand Wizard, we're pretty much good.
Yeah, Hannah's sort of like, as long as they don't figure out what we are, we don't have to eat them.
Yeah.
And then if we have to eat them, we have to eat them.
if they die,
Are they
die.
bad people?
What?
Are they bad people?
They're not
probably
our
sure, yeah.
kind of people. They're not bad. They're not good.
I'd say that applies to most people, honestly, but I'm not sure that these ones have any particular malice towards us. But I keep
want to get to live.
Does it seem like anything? Does it seem like they are going to be of any concern to us at the moment? Because it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out how this impacts us trying to get out west.
I don't know.
That's
Are
Yeah.
you sure you don't know?
between everybody.
You don't know?
I put my notes away. I don't know what you're looking over here for.
Pip sends Jean-Pierre out with a note saying that she will appear tomorrow evening for fun.
All right.
I'll try to keep an eye out. They don't know that I exist, so
That's true.
I'll skulk about and try to gather what information I can.
All right. Go ahead and make a note of that for a couple weeks from now so we can look into that. Or if you want to try and maybe do another hangout or via Discord or whatever to do that stealth mission, we will go ahead and call it a night where we've left off there with a mystery and a concert.
And a mutiny.
Oh, good. Okay, combat then next time. All right.
Right.
I don't think they have a chandelier, but I just imagine her concert being like Phantom of the Opera, where like everything is going to go terribly. The chandelier is going to crash.
Yep.
I'm going to get kidnapped.
Suddenly, I'm reminded of the end of Men in Tights, where it's like, we're going to have a wedding or an execution. Either way, we're going to have a lot of fun, huh?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh, cold. Come back.
There was someone licking their butthole.
Oh.
Wasn't me.
Ew.
Goes.
But just the idea to know you could is
I mean-
satisfying.
I come from a foreign land. Sometimes I have to explain our customs.
I know.
And with that, good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Did we level?
Internet.
Mad Internet.
Did we level?
Which you always say at the end of every game.
There's vampire. As you level, you just get